How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, we have Epstein files fallout. Oh my goodness. People are asking, ABL, what about the Epstein files? You've not said anything about the Epstein files. What is it to say? What is it to say that there's some embarrassing things in there? There's some allegations in there that have not been proven. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, the Grammy Awards. Now, I did not watch the Grammy Awards. I've not watched any award show in many, many years. But there are some highlights that bleed over into life beyond entertainment. Politics and whatnot are here, and there's some things I want to address. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. And we got the paid protesters. I saw y'all in that video where I put it up when I say you can make up to $120,000 as a not an ICE agent, pardon me, as a paid protester. I saw y'all in the comments. Where do I sign up, ABL? I want to be a paid protester. I saw y'all. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, is Kamala Harris running? I just saw something on my internets. It came across my desk. It's pretty cryptic, but she could be running in 2028. And if it's not her, it's somebody using her social media platform. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. I'm seeing Blake says, anyone else having audio issues? Now, if my sound is, if it's pitching up too much, y'all please let me know, because we can't have stuff like that going on. All right. Hold on. We can't have that going on. So y'all let me know if my sound is abnormal, if it sounds weird, or whatever the case may be. All right. Y'all most certainly got to let me know that. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. And I'm seeing something kind of weird. Actually, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good right now. Yeah, we should be good. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. To you guys who were here, not here, but to you guys who were on Instagram stream last night, shout out to you guys. If y'all don't know, I stream on YouTube, of course, Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. But I'm also on the Instagrams every Tuesday at 9 p.m. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I said it before, I'm going to start uploading that as an individual thing on YouTube. So for you guys who don't have Instagram, you can't make it, whatever the case, I'll put that up as a long form video, just straight up on the YouTubes. If you can't get it on Instagram live on the Tuesday. And I think I'll also put that on Spotify, etc. And speaking about Spotify, this is an audio streaming podcast as well. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. A link for that will always be in the box. And that'll be the very next day. So today's Wednesday. I'll put that up on Thursday, 8 a.m. for the Saturday show, Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern. Now, there's a lot we got to get into here. There is a whole lot. Epstein files. I mean, listen, I'm going to ask y'all, did you really think that there was going to be something? Did you really think that there would be something in the Epstein files that's beyond what we already have? That is more than what we know. I want to know, I want to understand. Hold on. I want to understand the thought process. Was the thought process, okay, if we get the Epstein files out, then I, random internet user, will find something that will sink President Trump and make him leave office? Was that the thought process? I'm having a hard time understanding. If that was in there, then it would have already been produced. If that was in there, it would have already been produced. And some say, well, they didn't produce it because if they use that against Trump, then it would have been the same thing against Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, or whoever. Not necessarily, because what you can do is glean information from the investigation into Epstein and use that to smear Trump beyond the release of all the files. You understand? So if you have an investigation and you're looking for one particular thing from the investigation, you release that thing. But you could put out other things. You might find other things in there. Let's say you're investigating somebody. That whole thing goes nowhere. But in the course of it, you find something else. Okay, put that out rather than what the first investigation was for, rather than anything else from the investigation. Now, I'm no legal expert, but a little bit of common sense goes quite a long way. Okay, I've common sensed my way to a very good life so far. So, a little bit of common sense. If there was something about Trump, it would have already been out there. If there is a network of child traffickers, it would have already been discovered. I'm not saying that I'm not saying there's no such thing as child trafficking networks. We know there are. But if it's in the Epstein files, then it would have already been uncovered. I don't really understand what people want from this whole thing. I don't really get it. And it's weird because you see Elon Musk is in the files. He's talking about I was emailing Jeffrey Epstein back and forth, but I wasn't trying to go to the island. And I really kind of believe him. I think Elon Musk doesn't really understand a lot of things. I don't think he's into the whole, the extracurricular activities of Jeffrey Epstein. I don't believe so. But he's in there. And the problem with the Epstein files is exactly what I said when Elon had that little meltdown. Remember when Elon had to let go of Doge? He had to leave Doge because he was there on a temporary basis. And when he had to go, he left kicking and screaming, remember? And when he was finally removed from Doge and from the government, on his way out kicking and screaming, what did he say? Trump's in the Epstein files. Trump's in the Epstein files. I said, okay, that's fine. But did he do anything wrong? Just because you're in the Epstein files does not mean you did anything wrong. As I said before, as I say on the live stream, on Instagram and everything else, I've been in a situation where somebody was getting investigated and it impacted me. I have nothing to do with this. I'm just a guy that they saw near this person. Let me give you the story, quick story. I told it before, but I'm gonna tell it again. The guy I knew had a restaurant and he was a good cook, really good food, amazing soul food out there in Virginia and downtown Portsmouth. If you know, you know. Anyway, he had the restaurant and he decides to become El Chapo. Literally, like he wanted to sell heroin in Portsmouth. It's like, bro, you don't think they see you before you try to do something like that? You're not even really a street guy. You like a cook, but anyway. So as a result of him trying to do this endeavor, they investigated him. Now, ABL is the flyer guy. I'm just going to his restaurant with a nondescript box with no markings on it because I have 5,000 flyers in it to promote his restaurant. That's what I'm there for. Okay, all I got is a box full of paper with ink on it that has his food and his prices and his location and phone number. That's all I got. I don't have bricks of yayo or whatever they call it. I don't have that. I was never the ice cream man, the connect, the plug. I was never that guy. I was always a guy selling club flyers in the street. That's what I was known for in Virginia. But since they saw me there with a box delivering, they may think I could be the connect. I could be somehow linked to the drug trade. So then here comes an audit from the city of Chesapeake. I called a number and the lady's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She didn't say it like that. It wasn't like a young woman voice. It was like a older, kind of like maybe 40 something at the time, white lady voice. She was just really trying to get down to the bottom of, okay, who are you and what's going on? And I told her, look, I'm just a flyer guy. I don't know nothing about nothing. Okay. But since I was seen dropping off the flyers while that guy's being investigated, now I'm in the circle. So if there's a foul on him, I'm going to be in the foul. But it's unfair to say because ABL's in the foul of this guy who was a drug dealer that I'm somehow a drug dealer or in any way guilty of doing anything wrong. Same thing with the Epstein files. Okay, you go to a party and take a picture with a girl who happens to know somebody who knows Epstein, or you go to a party and Epstein is there and you take a picture and boom, you in the Epstein files. Does that mean you did anything wrong? I'm having a hard time understanding. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Anyway, so the Epstein files to me was always going to be a nothing burger. The more they release, the more people get less enthusiastic about it. It is a thing that has been drummed up. It's a thing that has been drummed up by the media. A lot of attention is focused on it, but really it's nothing burger. And quite frankly, kind of a distraction. Kind of a distraction because it ain't nothing there. So much time and energy is focused on it. You're not focusing on things that actually matter, in my humble opinion. Now, somebody might not like what I'm saying, but let's talk facts, though. Let's talk facts. Okay. Who is being accused of child trafficking, and where's the evidence? Is there any evidence in the actual emails, in the Epstein files? Is there any evidence there? Now, if it is, okay, point me to it. If it's not, then what are we saying? It's just wishful thinking at best. That's all I'm saying. But Bill Gates was in there. And you know what? Like I said on my Twitters, and follow me on x.com, aka Twitter. As I said, Bill Gates lived more of a rock star lifestyle, according to the Epstein files, more than anyone else. Now, I'm not saying anything about child trafficking. All I'm saying is what they got on Bill that I can actually look at. Okay, an allegation, and not even a true thing, because some of the Epstein files is just tips, anonymous tips. Okay, somebody said that Trump did X, Y, and Z in X, Y, and Z place. It's an anonymous tip, and we have no evidence. That's in the Epstein files. So what the media will do is use that as evidence of a thing that he did wrong, although there is no evidence. It's just hearsay. I can get on this internet and say anything that I want. That does not mean I'm telling the truth. I say all the time to you guys, don't believe anything, not even me. Do your own research. And once you do some research into the whole thing with Trump and the Epstein files, and you see that it's just a bunch of anonymous tips and complaints and no real concrete evidence, you got to just come to the conclusion that it ain't really nothing there. It ain't nothing there. But as I said before, this whole thing, it was going to be nothing from the very beginning. Okay. It was going to be nothing from the beginning. And here we are. Here we are. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I mean, listen, if there, like I said, there's any evidence, then let's bring it out. Let's bring it to the front. If there's no evidence or it's minimal, it's like, what are we talking about exactly? What are we saying exactly? I don't know. But back to Bill Gates. Puff Daddy, rockstar lifestyle, more than anybody else. And he could have, Bill Gates was so wild with it, he could have actually got himself locked up. Because he going over to Russia, messing with escorts, allegedly. He could have got locked up, but he did things right. Puff Daddy got locked up, not because he's black, but because he did things poorly. He didn't pay off Cassie. If he paid his de facto wife and Cassie the money she wanted from the beginning, he doesn't go to the penitentiary. Because all the attention on Puff happened after he refused to pay Cassie. And he wound up still paying her and going to prison for 4 years. If he would just paid her from the beginning, it'd be no problems. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, they pay their wives handsomely. All right. And they're going to take all them secrets to the grave. I saw Melinda Gates give an interview. We're going to get to that in a minute. Melinda Gates gave an interview talking about the Epstein files and her former husband, Bill Gates. I could tell by her body language that some things she may have been saying or not saying to protect not only herself, because she could be doing some things with Bill in the marriage that might not be, very family friendly, right? She's protecting herself, but also protecting Bill Gates and some of his secrets. But when the security is not there for her and she's not getting that money and she feels slighted, now all of a sudden she's a nuclear bomb and can sink your whole ship like what happened to Puff. But anyway, shout out to Puff, Bill Gates, all these people. I think what we're seeing here really is that people live lives differently than you think. Okay. And your Puff Daddy, okay, you kind of would think that he would do something like that. Maybe even the Bill Gates, because he's rich, therefore he's evil. The vaccines, okay. It's not a surprise for guys like that to be doing some things that are a little bit strange or whatever. But you're gonna see some stuff coming up here in the next few weeks and months this year. You will see some stuff that'll be like, wow, really? And I'm gonna tell you this. From being around, just living life, being here and there, being in this room and that room, I done seen some stuff. Going all the way back. When I was real young, I was around the music industry a little bit. And I've seen some stuff with that. Oh yeah, I've definitely seen some stuff with that. Don't even. And then in politics, I've seen some stuff there. Okay, been around certain people that you will see on TV. And you see them doing little things. See, and I pick up on certain little small things that someone else may ignore. And I see that, I'm like, okay, I see what's going on there. But nobody else sees it and it doesn't get reported. People have a false sense of reality, but I'm getting too deep. I'm getting way too deep. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Poor Bieber. Yeah. Hey, man, if you give your child to the music industry, hey, man, it's like throwing your baby in the pit of fire. Kind of, sort of, a little teeny bit, at least, because that's what happened to Justin Bieber. Yeah, you shouldn't have sent Bieber with Puff. That's not where you should. That's not where you should have gone. But hey, it's whatever. I don't even know if the industry can survive beyond what AI is doing. AI making the things that the music industry back in the day has drastically changed. Now it's all digital. Everything's digital. Maybe you go to somebody's concert. But beyond that, everything's digital. There's no more going to the store and buying records physically. Back in the day, a CD, I remember the heyday of rap music. I remember purchasing an album for like $20. Like that was real high. I think the average was like maybe $15 back in the early 90s. $20. Back in the day, you had Wu-Tang Forever, a double CD. That thing it was like buying a video game. But now you just pay your Apple Music, your YouTube Music, or whatever, and you could just get it to your phone, and there's no actual purchasing of physical music anymore. That whole thing is gone. So what's the next step? Okay, no more physical music. Everything's digital. Everything is TikTok, doom scroll. So at that point, how important are artists? How important is originality? And then you got all these ways to make things without instrumentation. I'm not sure how long the music industry can last. I don't really know. That's right, back up. $12.99 at a local spot. Yeah, it was expensive. And this is in the 90s, so obviously there's inflation that has happened since then. So think about what that would be in today's dollars. People think that people had it easier in previous times. They think, oh, the boomers had it so easy. Did they? Did they really? I'm not sure. I think things have changed, but I'm not really sure about things being easier back then. All right. Yeah, you got AI artists. Yeah, you got AI artists now, AI beats. I've made some AI music. Some stuff that you might have heard, not my regular theme, but you may have seen some reels with AI music on it. Okay. But yeah, that's the thing. I mean, hey, why not? Because you can't use real music because you're going to get a copyright or whatever. So what do? Wolfram says, I got my first CD player in 1988. Wow. In 88, you had that money in 1988, a CD player? That's crazy. Monique says, I heard AI music artists are blowing up too. Oh yeah. Because people they can't tell the difference. I've seen AI pages of people talking, but it's not a real person. I'm seeing that quite a bit. Quite a bit of that. There's a lot of that going on. I think what's going to matter in the future is your connection to human beings, humans connecting with other humans, and things you could do in the physical world. Okay, the digital world is going to be one world you can exist in. You can do things there, but also in the physical world. That's going to be very, very important in the future, for sure. And like I always tell, especially the young guys, please get into the skilled trades, because that's one thing as of yet, there's no AI robot to do. Okay, as of yet, an AI robot cannot go into your house and build something for you, be a handyman. It can't cut your grass in the way that you would want. I'm going to tell you what I did see. I did see like a little robot in one of my neighbor's yards. It was like a little Roomba for grass. I don't know what it was doing. I don't think it was cutting no blades. Cutting no blades of grass. I don't know what it was doing, but it was something. So if that robot can behave like that on grass, on terrain, outdoor terrain, is bumpy, uneven, hilly, or whatever, then you could put a blade on it and cut the grass as well. But there's still some things that robots can't do. And if you are going to concede that, you can still get into the space where you're building the robotics and maintaining it. You still got to do things with your hands. So that's going to be the way going forward as we get into the AI age. Okay. Hold on. Mr. Misfit says, I still buy CDs and LPs. I have a big collection. It's more expensive, but I prefer it. I grew up collecting media. It's the best feeling holding the CD and magical setting up my record player, big 120 watt setup. Hey, I'm with you, man. It could be very difficult because, like, where do you even go? I think at one point they had music in Walmart, and then they put the kibosh on that. They're like, no, we ain't gonna do that no more. So where do you go to purchase your actual physical music? Or is like a lot of online stuff? How does it really work? And I'm hearing with people that play video games, like with PC games. If you play PC games and you have a optical drive, that when you purchase the physical actual media, there's no physical media inside. So if you have a box, right, a video game box, you go to GameStop, Best Buy, whatever, you buy the box. Once you open the box, there's going to be a code in there that you got to enter on your computer to download the game. There's no actual physical media with some of these physical purchases. I've heard that. And how long into the future will that be the case for the music industry? Maybe it won't be a thing that becomes absolute. You may be still able to buy physical media, but it's going to be a difficult process because of how limited the supplies are going to be. But hey, we'll see it. River Spirit says, AI age, success would be doing it yourself. Exactly. The AI age, some people say that AI is going to be like the end, it's going to be the Antichrist. I don't believe that. I think it'll be a tool just like anything else. Because look at how far we are advanced as a people right now today compared to 100 years ago. Okay, so current year, 2026. In 1926, would any of this have been possible? Would any of this been possible? Like what I'm doing now, like cell phones. Like there was a time there was no TV. There was no electricity. There was a time there was no electricity. Okay, you had candlelight for your lights at night. Okay, like that's just what it is. And in some parts of the world, there's still no electricity. Not on the regular basis. Hey, go to some parts of Africa, Go to some parts of Africa, at night it's pitch black. Like it's pitch, you can't see nothing in front of your face. You gotta have some kind of light source to illuminate yourself. But beyond that, it's pitch black. You can't see nothing. So what do? You know, we take what we have for granted and we don't really understand how far we've come in a very short period of time. The human evolution is very rapid and it'll accelerate with AI, but it won't be the end of us, in my humble opinion. Yep. Had kerosene lamps and stuff like this. My grandmother had a kerosene lamp back in the day. Yep, sure did. All right, hold on. Joy says, am I going to address the rabbit hole of Candace Owens blaming the Jews? Well, I think I've addressed that. You may not have heard me address it. So basically, I don't really get into that. I think it's kind of silly, especially when you understand that, okay, you got a big podcast, right? So where is the money from your sponsors coming from? I'm having a hard time understanding. Because here's the reality. Shout out to the Jews. If anyone says I'm being anti-Semitic right here, you just not really. I'm not. I'm not. The Jews are the best when it comes to handling money in the world. That's what they are the best at. Now, you can fight, argue, whatever. That's just what I see. Now, that can be used for good and for bad, just like all groups. Okay? You're going to have some that do a Bernie Madoff or a Sam Bankman-Fried and just steal money like the Somalis do. And you're going to have some who are going to be legitimate guys, stand-up guys, and they're going to fight for you and your money. Some of these Jewish lawyers, hey man, they're going to make sure you stay free. If I ever, and God forbid, knock on wood, but if I ever am facing the penitentiary, I want a Goldstein, a Goldberg, a Silverstein. Give me that guy on my defense. Okay. I don't want no Swedish guy, no Anglo-Saxon, no Germanic, nobody from the Holy Roman Empire. I don't want that kind of white person. I want the Jays on my side for that situation. Now, if I got to go win the football game, I need a quarterback that ain't going to move at all and throw an accurate bomb. I want a white guy from California with long hair. I want a Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I want one of them guys. But you understand what I'm saying? There are people in this world who are good at certain things, and it's okay. But we're talking about the Jews, because they're good with the money, that's going to cause a lot of envy, because money is the thing that makes people act differently. Someone will behave one way when money's not in the picture, but when you bring money into it, now things change. Money makes people change. And what people say is kind of true. Money is not what makes people change. It is something that makes them reveal who they actually are on the inside. They were suppressing their true self until the money came. When that money came, all of a sudden, here's the real person. And that might not be a very good person. That might not be a very well disciplined person. That might not be who you want to call your friend whenever a person comes out, when the money gets involved. So, of course, since the Jays are going to be good with the money, let's blame the Jays for everything. Although, if you got a big podcast and you got money coming in from your sponsors, where's that coming from? Take one guess. Take one guess. Come on, man. So it's a talking point, and it's kind of soft because people will point to someone or something to blame rather than taking personal responsibility and accountability for where they at in their life. Oh, I'm broke. I'm in the basement. I got Cheeto dust in my beard and in my shirt. I'm 37 years old. I live with my mom. It's the Jews' fault. It's whack. It's totally whack. So yeah, that's pretty much wrong with that. But Candace, I like Candace. I don't agree with her on everything, but find me one person on planet Earth who you agree with on everything. Find that person. Okay, Jesus ain't came back yet. And some of y'all might not agree with him. Some of y'all can read the words in the book that he wrote and don't agree with it. So if you're not going to agree with Jesus all the way, why would you agree with a regular human being all the way? Make it make sense. But anyway, somebody says, why are they good with money? I don't know. Maybe it's because they read a lot. They educate themselves a lot. They got books in the house when they 1 year old. They're wearing glasses at 2 years old, like the Chinese. The Chinese are like that too. Really, really hard in their education at their early age. It's their culture, their tradition, or whatever. That's what I would presume, but I don't know. Somebody tell me. Okay, why is Michael Vick so good at playing football? You tell me. I don't know. Why is that? Why do the Jamaicans run faster than everybody else? Or Black Americans or West African? Why do they run so fast in the sprint? And why do the Ethiopians run better on the distance rather than the sprint? Why are the Icelandic guys so strong with their power lift? Ask God, don't ask me. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got quite a bit going on tonight, but before I get to anything, shout out to you guys for watching. You guys are the best. Of course, you know that. And shout out to my other sponsors. Shout out to Cameo. Shout out to Cameo. If you want a message for somebody you want to send from me, a personalized message, you can do so on cameo.com. You can find me, Anthony Brian Logan, ABL. I'm easy to find. There's also a link in the description box beneath this video to go to Cameo. Check me out right there. Also, if you want this merch, we got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more on ablmerch.com. Check it out. Hold on. So let's go to ablmerch.com right quick, shall we? Just right quick. So we got some stuff in the tuck, and we got more coming. These my regular hats I wear a lot. The USA and you can see how big that is. I like the really big. It's like kind of a. is, you can go into a room and it'll spark conversation. So we got the 1865 and the 1619 as well. I saw you, Spike Lee, wearing a 1619 hat. I did see that. So I made one for you because you probably saw my hat and got mad 1776. Oh, I'm going to wear 1619. I got you right there. But we got more. We got shirts. We got mugs. We got all kind of stuff. Okay. So whatever you need in 1984. And I made this in the typeface of the 1984 book. Okay. So, and I got hats like that as well. So whatever you want, I got it right there on the merch website. That's some new stuff. And we got some new stuff coming very soon. Alrighty. But also, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description box, or visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and for each long form video that I produce, there will be an article. And I always place my sources. I cite my sources from the left, the right, from the politically agnostic, Democratic, Republican, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. And I think I figured out TikTok, so I'm going to do my best to post over there because they're giving me so many troubles. Okay, here's a little bit of free game for you guys who may want to post over there. What they want from me, what I was able to decipher, they want a video of just me talking, no B-roll, no captions, no label. They want it straight from my phone that I recorded. And they also don't want it to have come from a different app that recorded it. If that makes any sense, because they're going to detect that too, I think. So they want it straight from my phone, just record it like this. And then they want me to put the captions and stuff on it within the TikTok app. If I put third-party captions and stuff like that, then they're going to use it against me. It's really weird the way they do it. They have this thing where they're trying to create videos that are unique to their platform, although the videos are not that unique themselves. A lot of it is kind of brain rot and garbage, but they want it all to come from one particular source, which would make sense from a business point of view, but it's kind of anti-creator. But anyway, I think I'll be over there more for you guys who are on that particular app. But of course, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere else. Now, as I always say, don't get scammed by anybody on these interwebs pretending to be me in the comment section in your email. Don't do it. Because y'all know who it's going to be, right? It's going to be the guy over in India. He's going to be in the office building. It's going to be, they're going to be so deep in the office building, they're going to be spilling out the top. You see them on the trains and they be real deep like that. That's how they're going to be in the office building when they come in to scam you. Okay. Flip-flops at best, scamming you, pretending to be me in the comment section or in the random email. Or could be a European dude, Eastern Europe, somebody, Slavic nation might be a little, might be a little rough for them in the wartime, closer to Ukraine, that area. It's kind of, they might scam you as well. Some dude named Boris, Vladimir is going to scam you, pretending to be me. And of course, it could be somebody that may even look like me. They could get an ABL clone, put a little bit of gray in their beard, and try to sound American. Yeah, homie, yeah, all that. I can't even do how they. I can't imitate a Nigerian pretending to be an American. I can't do that. I got to be a for real Nigerian to imitate that. Because what they be saying, yo, man. I don't know. Anyway, they might try to scam you, but please don't do it. Don't give them anything, no money, no cards, no nothing. They're going to be on the phone with you. You get them on the phone. Hello, this is ABL. You have contacted me for the gift cards. I do not have them yet. Please, I beg, you need to send the cards now. Don't believe the video you saw where I said that was a scammer. I was trying to throw you off the scent. I wanted to test you. Don't fall for that in 2026, because I see some of y'all do it still. I get emails. I promise I still get emails from some of y'all. I got scammed, ABL. What you want me to do? I don't got nothing to tell you, man. I told you in many live streams every day for 1,000 years, don't do that. But here we are. Okay. And the African accent will come back when we talk about hey, when we get to Shabuzi, yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But anyway, let's start with Don Lemon at the Grammys. I'm gonna cover the Grammys briefly. Not because I care about the Grammys and what they do. I don't know who won, who lost with the upsets where I couldn't care less. And is that for music, for movies? I don't even know at this point anymore. But anyway, I want to show this because this is what happens when. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just play this and then I'm going to say why they did it. This is going to be Don Lemon at a pre-Grammys party in Hollywood, put on by Clive Davis. If you know about Clive Davis, one of the triple OG music industry persons. Okay, so Don Lemon got an ovation by his peers at the Grammy Awards. Now, he's there with his white husband. What's his name? I don't know what his name is. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. Don Lemon. Tim Malone. Yep, Tim Malone. That's his husband. Okay, and this is one thing you can always count on. If you got a black person, especially on like a corporate media, talking about how bad the white man is, they almost always got a white husband. They could be male or female. That's going to be who they have on their arm all the time. And I have nothing wrong with anybody doing whatever they want. Hey, if you and another adult consent to do whatever you do together, that's not my business. I don't care. But the irony is pretty obvious. Now, the reason why I'm playing this is to show you how they treat you if you are a black person and you die for their cause or you get locked up. Oh, they love you. You die or get locked up, you're the best person in the world for their cause. It won't really benefit you much, but it'll benefit them. So thank you for sacrificing yourself for them. Not helping yourself out, not really doing yourself any favors. If you get locked up for a long time, they're not going to be there to do nothing for you. If you die, oh well. But hey, thank you for sacrificing your life for us. And Don is facing time in the penitentiary. Now, ultimately, Don might not go to the joint because of how dumb he is. And I think that the people in charge kind of understand that. But we'll see. He deserves jail time for what he did, the whole church storming situation. Now, here he is on Kimmel talking about the whole ordeal of the arrest and the storming of his room by the agents or whatever it is. Check it out.
Walking up to the room and I press the elevator button and all of a sudden I feel myself being jostled and people trying to grab me and put me in handcuffs and I said, "What are you doing here?" And they said, "We came to arrest you." And I said, "Well, who are you?" And then finally they identified themselves and I said, "If you are who you are, then where's the warrant?" And they didn't have a warrant, so they had to wait for someone from outside, an FBI guy, to come in to show me a warrant on a cell phone. And by that time, I was like trying to, figure out what was going on to get my bearings and they dropped all my stuff. My glasses had fallen on the floor. I'm like, I can't read that. So they had to pick my glasses up and I read it and still, what does that mean? And then it was a bunch of guys and they took me outside. FBI guys were out there. I mean, it had to be maybe a dozen people, which is a waste, Jimmy, of resources because I had told them weeks before, maybe once or twice, that we would, I think my attorney tried to contact them once, maybe twice, that I could just go in and it would have to be the folks who were just working there that day and they wouldn't have to have all these people following me around.
It's more than just a waste of resources. So they grab you and they take you where?
Well, you're right about more than just a waste of resources. They want that. They want to embarrass you. They want to intimidate you. They want to instill fear. And so that's why they did it that way.
Okay, there we go. So, I mean, at the end, like I said before, he earned the fear. He earned that process, which may have scared him. He earned that because When you were going into the church, what do you think they were feeling? What do you think was going through the minds of the kids that were in there crying? You said it yourself. It's uncomfortable. They're crying. That's what it's all about. Okay. If you think that a so-called protest is about making little kids cry, making the whole church service end, making everybody feel uncomfortable, okay, that's fine. What your arrest is about is making you feel uncomfortable, making you feel scared, feel the same thing that they felt. And ultimately, you'll be held accountable. So that's just part of it. So you can't dish it out if you can't take it. You can't go out there and antagonize people, terrorize them, instill fear in them. And then when you are faced with that same thing, you want to cry the victim. That's not the way it works. If you don't want to feel fear, if you don't want to feel terror, if you don't want to feel the way you felt when the federales came, then how about don't storm a church? That might be a good idea. That might be a great place to start. Just maybe. Just maybe. Okay. Now here is Todd Blanche on CNN talking about Don Lemon. And we're going to get back to the Grammys because there's some more there that I wanted to discuss, including Shabuzi talking about immigrants with the currency, which is wrong. But anyway.
Mr. Blanche, I want to go, actually, I went through the entire indictment, all 29 alleged overt acts of conspiracy. And there's a lot to ask you about, but I'm just going to pick a few here, okay? Starting with overt act number 20, which says, quote, defendant Lemon told his live stream audience about congregants leaving the church and about a young man who Lemon could see was frightened, scared, and crying. And Lemon observed that the congregants' reactions were understandable because the experience was traumatic and uncomfortable, which he said was the purpose. Overt Act 21 says, quote, as the operation continued, defendant Lemon acknowledged the nature of it by expressing surprise that the police hadn't yet arrived at the church and admitted knowing that the whole point of the operation was to disrupt. Why wouldn't a jury at trial see this as a journalist observing what is happening, which is protected by the First Amendment?
Well, you conveniently left out multiple allegations in that indictment about what else Mr. Lemon did, including surreptitiously avoiding saying where they were going, being part of the planning, being part of the decisions to make sure the police didn't know this was happening and federal law enforcement didn't know this is happening. There are multiple allegations there. And guess what? He gets to have a lawyer and he gets to have a defense. And so if he wants to go forward with the defense that, aw, shucks, I was just a journalist, he can do that. But obviously, as the indictment lays out, and which you didn't read on the air, there's a lot of things that Mr. Lemon did that you would never do as a journalist. You would never do that.
Exactly. It was like, oh, shucks, I was a journalist. That'd be his defense. Oh, shucks, gee whiz, I didn't know any better. That'd be the defense. But, bro, ignorantia juris non excusat. You can't say I didn't know the law. I was ignorant of the law and use that as an excuse. Ignorance is no excuse to the law. So that whole defense, I didn't know no better, I didn't know nothing, that ain't really going to fly, Don Lemon. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little bit of the view, and I promise I'm not going to show too much. Okay, I promise. I made a vow to myself, hey, ABL, you got to stop showing so much of the view. But I got to show it a little bit to show the hypocrisy, because when it comes to Don Lemon, there was a federal grand jury, a jury of his peers. It wasn't just a judge. It wasn't just Donald Trump. It wasn't Donald Trump who came down from the sky and said, okay, arrest Don Lemon. There was a federal grand jury that reviewed what he did and decided to indict him. Now, somebody like Ana Navarro has been in favor of grand juries before when it came to other things, but all of a sudden now things change. Funny how that works, but let's watch.
I want to thank this special grand jury because they have been meeting for weeks and weeks. They've done this incredibly seriously. These are not people with a political agenda. These are regular New Yorkers. Donald Trump finally won a popular vote yesterday. The grand jury voted to indict him. I want to thank them.
Okay, so that was 2023 talking about Donald Trump. Okay, 2023. Now let's go to current day. Let's go to current day, shall we?
So I just want to understand, because he was at that protest like a week ago, right? In the
Yes.
church. And then a week later, they
got a grand jury to indict
him.
two counts.
But this is
Right.
after they had gone to 3 different courts trying to get judges to sign off.
Right.
And the judges in all 3 previous cases said to the DOJ, get the hell out of my courtroom, you clowns. There is no case here. So
Okay.
they basically did it themselves. They did it. They released the news at the exact same time that they released the Epstein documents.
Epstein files.
So make no mistake about it. This was about gaslighting. This was about going against Don Lemon and other journalists. By the way, all who happen to be black. Happy Black History Month. And I think it's,
I mean, I hate that whole thing. Why we got to always be like their attack dog or a point to make when you want to talk about how bad someone is? Oh, look how I treat the blacks. I hate that so much.
To send a chilling message
Correct.
to anybody who is covering facts. For some reason, well, I know the reason. This administration is afraid of people seeing the truth and being informed. And I think they picked on the wrong guy because Don Lemon is not going to play dead. Don Lemon has the wherewithal, has the structure, has the team, has the courage, and has the money to fight this administration.
Yeah.
And he's going to take it as far as it goes. And he's not going to be silent.
All right, there we go. So it's funny how, now we jury shopping, all this, that, and the third, we trying to get around it. Now all of a sudden the federal grand jury, now you want to try to pour cold water on it. My thing is, let's be consistent about our views on certain things. Let's be consistent. If you feel one way about something, then feel that same way all the time. It shouldn't matter. If I say the Epstein files don't really matter to me, it shouldn't matter whether someone that I know is hurt or helped. It doesn't really matter. It'll only make a difference when somebody said one thing and then something else was true. Okay, now this is Trevor Noah talking about Nicki Minaj not being at the actual Grammy Awards.
Oh man, every single person here, John Legend, Billie Eilish, Phineas, Nicki Minaj is not here. She is not here. She is still at the White House with Donald Trump discussing very important issues. Actually, Nikki, I have the biggest ass. I have it. Everybody's saying it, Nikki. I know they say it's you, but it's me. Wop, wop, wop. Look at it. Look at it, baby.
Okay, that's pretty much this whole thing. Let's keep going.
Oh, man.
All right, that's pretty much the end of that. But yeah, so Trump jokes. What are they going to do without President Trump? When he's done in 2028, what are they going to do? What are they going? They already letting all these talk show people go. They're letting everybody, like I said before, Stephen Colbert, Kimmel, all these guys are pretty much done. Is Trevor Noah on TV still? I've not watched television in a long time, so if he's not like front and center in my face, I have no idea. But what are they going to do when it's over for Trump? Now, Nicki Minaj had responded to a lot of this stuff, and she said that, hey, Don Lemon, word on the street is that you're gay, and everybody knows your boyfriend. Now, I don't know if Don Lemon is gay or not, and if he's gay, then, hey, that's his business. But you see, when you say certain things about people, when you want to try to embarrass people, now it could be a two-way street. It's not just a matter of you say whatever you want and then I say nothing. But here's a video. I'm not quite sure from when, but I want you guys to watch this and you tell me if you think this guy that's next to Don Lemon, pardon me, Trevor Noah, same thing. Anyway, let me know if you think that this guy next to Trevor Noah is his boyfriend or not.
Hey, excuse me, not to interrupt. Are you Trevor Noah?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
Andres.
Good to meet you, man.
Dude, you look great. I would approach you, but you're a celebrity. Hey,
okay, so you might not have seen the guy, not the guy with the hats. That's just a guy on the street. So right here, you see Trevor Noah, and you see, I'm gonna just point out a few things that I see. One thing that I know is that is that there are certain things that you can look at about somebody and kind of judge. So that's Trevor right there. You can see what he's wearing, the regular Lululemon type situation. All right, the shorts and the t-shirt. And there's a guy right there. You see him kind of like cut off by his body. He's wearing a similar outfit. All right. And you see him, white guy, of course, per usual. Like, guys like that love them a white guy. I hate the white man, except for my boyfriend. Anyway, so, all right, check out the fit with the socks and the running shoes. Okay. All right, Trevor. And then let's look at the guy that's right next to him. There we go. See, right there with the charcoal shirt and the khaki shorts with the same kind of socks and shoes and a bag, a little man purse. Who is that guy? Who is that guy? Could this be his friend, right? Could this be his friend out there drinking Starbucks with Trevor? Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with two dudes having a Starbucks wearing the same outfit together, and one guy has a bag? I mean, what's wrong with that? I'm just saying. Things aren't always what you think they are. You don't know how everybody lives life, and you don't really see guys all the time just outside maneuvering around. So there you go. What do y'all think? Just a friend, an acquaintance, random guy, or boyfriend? Y'all let me know. Hey, I see that. You're like, hey, I'm just saying. Okay, now here's Ben Shapiro defending Nicki Minaj against Trevor. Okay, I never thought I would hear Ben Shapiro talking about this, but here we are. I want to watch this. I've not seen this yet. Let's check it out.
And then, of course, Trevor Noah. It amazes me. What a great country where an immigrant like Trevor Noah can really make good despite having legitimately zero talent. It's a pretty impressive feat. Well, Trevor Noah hosted the Grammys where he was his usual smarmy, obnoxious self. And he dissed Nicki Minaj, and he dissed President Trump, suggesting that President Trump was part of the Epstein scandal and all the rest of it. Here he was dissing Nicki Minaj for the great sin of having gone to the White House to promote the Trump accounts, which, of course, are savings accounts being set up for American children, which, according to Trevor Noah, I guess is a bad thing now.
Every single person here.
All right, we're also this part right here.
Dang it, Nicki, baby.
Yeah, I love that all the people there are cheering when he's like, Nicki Minaj is over at the White House discussing serious issues, as though they are there discussing serious issues. Right? Their version of discussing a serious issue is they sing songs that are overproduced and auto-tuned.
All right, is that it, Ben? That's all you got from me? I thought it was gonna be a little bit more than that, but yeah. All right, shout out to Ben. I thought you would do a little bit more than that, but it was kind of underwhelming. Now, here's what I really wanted to get to. Shabuzi. Now, you guys may or may not know who that is. Shabuzi is a country music artist. He had this song called Everybody Getting Tipsy. It sounds something like that, right? Which was a sample of Jaquan Tipsy, a rap song, which had the drums that came from the Clips, Pharrell grinding. Anyway.
Immigrants.
So here he is talking about immigrants building the country, building the USA. Now, of course, this is within the context of ICE raids and all this kind of stuff going on, right? So you got to support the immigrants. And he himself is Nigerian, to Nigerian parents, born in Northern Virginia, but he's not from Virginia. You see, I'm from Virginia for real, back in the 1600s. I've traced my ancestry back to 1600s Virginia, Shabuzi. You got here in the 1990s. It's a little different. A little different. So let's see what he says here.
Immigrants built this country, literally. Actually, so this is for them, for all children of immigrants. This is also for those who came to this country in search of better opportunity to be a part of a nation that promised freedom for all and equal opportunity to everyone willing to work for it. Thank you for bringing your culture, your music, your stories, and your traditions here. You give America color. I love y'all so much. Thank you.
Okay, there we go. So that's what he said. Just saying, hey, I love the immigrants. You guys built the country. Now, this was interesting. There was an immediate backlash to this. Okay. And he puts out an apology. Let me just put up the apology for you guys right quick. Let me see if I can throw it on the screen. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. All right. So here we go. Might be kind of hard to see, but I'm going to just read it. First and foremost, I want to express my deep gratitude to everyone who was who has supported and celebrated my journey as an artist. I also want to acknowledge the conversation surrounding my acceptance speech. To be clear, I know and believe that I'm going to repeat myself. To be clear, I know and believe that we, black people, have also built this country. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there, bro. Shabuzi, you know full and well that Nigerians are not the same thing as black Americans. And I love Nigerians. Shout out to the Nigerians watching. I know you guys are watching. You guys like my top 5 country, which is impressive because you got a lot of these big built up places, US, UK. You guys are always in the top 5 of my viewers. So shout out to the Nigerians. I love y'all. I know I do the voice, but I'm just joking with you guys. I beg, don't wahala here. No nonsense here. I love you all. I don't take this. Do not be offended. Do not be offended. Anyway, there's not black Americans and Nigerians are not the same. You can't include yourself in black Americans because you're Nigerian. And when I say that, I'm talking about those who were here from the start during slavery, built in the country. That's us. That's us. Imagine you get some dude from Sweden, Norway, somewhere talking about, yeah, I built the country in the USA because I'm white. All right, Sven Svalbard, you got here in 1997. You did not build the country with the white Americans who were here early. You came from the United Kingdom, who were here when we were a colony and through Civil War, all that kind of stuff. I have people in my family who fought in the Revolutionary War. In the Revolutionary War, not the Civil War, 1776. I got people that fought in that. White and black that fought in that. So it's a little different. So when you say we as black people also built the country, no. Just say black Americans. Just say that. Don't say you. Because any other time, you're not going to be included with us. When your father is in the house complaining about the African Americans, the Akata, you do not include yourself in the black American. You don't connect the two. They are different and you know it. That's all I'm saying. But again, I got nothing against Nigerians. I love y'all. Shout out to y'all. But we know we're not the same people and it's totally fine. It's okay. Same thing with the whites. You get a European to come here. You get Vladimir come here in 2007 talking about, yes, I am also a white American. I helped build Mother America. I'll be like, nah, Rocky, you didn't do it. Welcome to the country if you're here legally. Yes, welcome to the country if you're here legally. Cool. But you can't take credit for what you didn't do. Don't do that. Okay? It was whites and blacks. And let's talk about that because some are going to kind of get up in the tizzy about who did what, who got the credit. Let's talk about that part. I think during slavery time, during the building of this nation, the way it worked was whites were the best at the managerial and the blacks were the best at the labor. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that there were no black managerials and that there were no white laborers, because there were. But I think the whites and the blacks had their skills that they were the best at. Like I said earlier, give me a white quarterback. He ain't gonna do nothing but just stand right there in their pocket and throw them bombs to the pinpoint accuracy. Okay, you're going to get Aaron Rodgers, throw that ball from 100 yards away and hit a penny on the ground, square in the middle of the penny. That's the kind of accuracy that he has. You see, it's just different. Michael Vick, he's going to run for 1,000 yards this season like a running back. And he's going to throw you a bomb every now and again as well. That's the truth of how this country was formed, how we got to be where we are today. Other immigrants came later to help us. The Chinese came in 1862, which was during the Civil War. The only reason they came for the little 5 years we had them is because they could not get black Americans to do it, and it was during the war. Because slavery was ending. That's why. And before the Chinese came, who built the railroad? Hey, ask this question. Who built all the railroad tracks in the South? All of them. So let's just be real. It was whites and blacks and natives to a certain extent that came together. Blacks are the best at the labor, whites are the best at the managerial, into the running, the structural, the leadership. They were better at that. That's the truth. When we built the nation, others came, other Europeans, other Africans, other groups of people came later to add their piece into it. And we say thanks for what they did, for their contribution. But to say they built it, it ignores who built the country for real to allow them to come over here and do what they did. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So that's just what it is. All the railroads in the South, it was us. The Chinese came later to expand it to the West and stuff like that. That's the reality. And again, 1862 is when they came, which was during the Civil War. And at the end of the war, what happened? Slavery ended. See? Let's just put two and two together, shall we? If not for that, then it would have been us doing it. But yeah, shout out to Shabuzi still. And shout out to the Nigerians still. And most importantly, shout out to the FBAs, foundational Black Americans, those who were here during the founding of the country, during the formulation of it, during slavery, and to the whites who were here as well during slavery. And the majority of whites are now owned slaves. A lot did in the South. They said between 20 and 40% of whites in the South own slaves. But it don't even really matter. At the end of the day, we all contributed. The good, bad, whatever, we all contributed. But if you came in 1997, that ain't don't try to take credit for a thing you weren't really a part of. Okay, now Billie Eilish talking about stolen land. Now, Billie Eilish, does she sing, rap? I have no idea.
No one is illegal on stolen land. Yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting, and our voices really do matter, and the people matter. And I say sorry.
Okay, so that's Billie Eilish. Whoever she is, whatever she does, I have no idea. I have no clue, but I've heard her name quite a bit. I've seen her quite a bit. Now, let's talk about the whole stolen land piece. So she lives on the mansion built on ancestral land taken from the Tongva tribe. For real, like real seriously. There's a mansion right there. And living in the wooded area like that, that's kind of, I wouldn't want to live in an area that's that close to the wood. Not out here, at least, because if you live that close to the wood here in Tennessee, you're going to have roaches, all that in your house. And you can't even do nothing about it because they come from the wooded area. Back in my old house down the way, we had some wood. It was kind of like this a little bit, but it wasn't no big mansion, obviously. The house we had back then was like maybe the size of a piece of this wing right here, maybe at best. Maybe her garage might have been the size of my house, but anyway, it was like this as far as kind of like surrounded by wooded areas. So every now and again, we come in the house, it'd be a roach this big on the wall, chilling like this. Like, yo, what's going on? Y'all home a little early. What's going on? Where y'all at? Anyway, there's a statement from the Tongva tribe saying, as the first people of the greater Los Angeles basin, we do understand that our home is situated in our ancestral land. Eilish has not contacted our tribe directly regarding her property. That's pretty interesting. So if you truly believe in this whole we're on stolen land thing, okay, that's fine. So when do you give up your land? When do you donate your mansion to the Tongva tribe? You're not going to do that? Oh, okay. All right. So maybe you're not really serious about this whole stolen land thing. Just maybe. That's all I'm saying. All right, now, and speaking about Billie Eilish, yeah, what's going on with these outfits y'all wearing? The Gen Zs, Gen Alphas, whatever. What's going on with this outfit? Like, I promise, I wore this outfit that she has on in, I want to say 2001. Now, I know I'm going to get some big brain in here. I know I'm going to get a big brain in here and say, hey, ABL, which one is Billie Eilish? Okay, well, look, You're a comedian, but the joke wasn't funny. Look at these shoes and the jeans, all of that, and the G-Shock. Now, what I never did was wear a do-rag, or I never put a bandana under my hat. I did have a do-rag under my hat, and I ain't have no waves. Okay, I never had no waves. I don't know how you get waves. I might be a little bit too African for waves in my hair. I tried to put a do-rag on, it ain't do nothing for me. The do-rag ain't do nothing for me. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what we're dealing with. People that dress like men 25 years ago. All right, but let's keep on going here. Did you guys see this video I put out? The short video about the Super Bowl billboard. So the big game's on Sunday in San Francisco, and they put this billboard out before the actual game. Some are triggered, but I like it. Check it out.
A new digital billboard at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco is evoking mixed reactions.
It made me sick to my stomach.
It's an ad that shows support for ICE.
They have a job to do, too. That's it. You know, I don't have a problem with them.
The billboard reads, Defensive Player of the Year, ICE. A group that calls itself American Sovereignty is behind the billboard. We tried to reach out to them to learn more about their motivation, but have not been able to reach anyone.
I'm worried for my neighbors. I'm worried for what is happening, and I'm worried to see it escalating here.
With the Super Bowl just days away, these concerned community members say they're doing something every day to get their message out.
A new digital
All right, there we go. So I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Shout out Tim McGraw. I like it. Hey, man, put that right in my veins. That's what I want. Let's get these billboards all over the USA. And especially in places like California. Put them right there in Los Angeles. Right there in downtown Skid Row. Right there. Bang. ICE. Hey, matter of fact, put the number up there. 888-DH2-ICE. 888-DHS2-ICE. Put that up there. Hey, report any activity you see suspicious. Okay, report anything. You see a funny van driving around. Hey, man, ICE, come get them. Come see what's up. Now, speaking about ICE, let's go to Minnesota. Hey, every Minnesota video got them little whistles in it. I mean, what is that really doing aside from just making everybody be annoyed at you? I mean, imagine that. You got a grown adult all in your ear. It's like, for what, though? What are we doing? So here is what appears to be an Hispanic ICE agent being assaulted by a white woman, an awful, an AWFUL, affluent, white, female, urban, liberal. Check it out. It's like, man, who wants to hear that all day? Shout out to the ICE agents, man, for dealing with these people. Shout out to y'all, man. I know y'all just like kind of frustrated sometimes and you might want to retaliate, but you guys have been very professional, very calm under pressure, and you do your job well. You've been getting these guys, criminal aliens, illegal aliens up out of here. So I salute you. Hats off to you guys. But what's all this right here? I can't even enjoy my coffee. And he doesn't look too white to me. He might be, but like a Daniel Perez or a Brandon Gutierrez or, you know, basically Marco Rubio. You're looking like that. But here comes white woman attacking you. Which, you know, knock coffee out your hand. Look at that right there. So that's not very nice. That's not very nice. But that's pretty much how they are. So it's no surprise. None whatsoever. Okay. And their favorite word they use, the awfuls, their favorite word they use is the N-word. Hey, I done told y'all, on the internet especially, that's their favorite word against me. N-word. I done been called porch monkey. I done been called every kind of racial slur you can imagine. And it's so funny because they tell me that it's the conservatives who don't like me. What do they say? Oh, the conservatives don't like you, ABL. The conservatives, they don't like you. Okay, well, do you like me? If you do, I can't tell. I didn't been called so many N-words, making my head spin. But here's one example of that. And I'm sorry for the video quality. I couldn't find one better. But you'll get the idea.
You're black! What? Nigga, you're next! You're next, nigga! What you? What you fucking know? I don't want shit! Fuck you! It's a shit! Fuck you! Show me, bitch! Fuck!
So, and shout out to him. I don't know who that is. But N-word. Now, the funniest part about this, because, you know, I laugh at anything. I don't care what it is. I will laugh at anything. I get that from my dad's side because we didn't have some tragedies happen and we still found a way to laugh at the end of it. Anyway, the funny part about this is she said it with the A on the end as to not be too offensive. Okay. The whole F-U-N-word part kind of like escaped her. So she said, you know what? It's not that bad. I said it with an A on the end. I didn't say the ER. I said it with the A. I said F-U. Yeah, I did say that. I gave him the middle finger and I said the N-word, but at least it had the A on the end. That right there is hilarious. But what's going on though? See, this is the kind of behavior you get from the racist whites when you're not on their page. And I've never gotten this from conservatives. Remember, when I was a young man, young and dumb, I was a liberal person and I'd be on the internet, I'd be outside, I'd be everywhere, having debates and arguments with conservatives. And never not one time did I get any racial slurs. It was always learn to read. You don't know what you're talking about. Learn to read. The most I would get called is retarded for not knowing something. I never got called N-word, never got called any racial slur at all from them. But now that I'm on the other side, as a conservative debating the liberals, N-word, N-word, N-word is all I get. But I'm told that the conservatives are the ones who are against me. I'm told the Republicans are the ones who hate me. I'm told Donald Trump is racist and orange man bad. When the truth is, all I've seen Trump do is support black people. President Trump, as I said many times before, is the first black president. Okay, you got Barry Hussein Obama. Not even, you got an African dad and a white American mom who owned slaves. That's kind of, but Trump is more like us than any of the other ones. Baby mamas getting shot, locked up. But aside from that, he has helped black people in a variety of ways. Freeing black folks from the penitentiary. That's one. Kodak Black. Lil Wayne. A$AP Rocky was in Sweden in a detention center and Trump went to send somebody to go get him out. And then the policies economically are always going to be better. When you have conservatives in office, it's always going to be better for the whole country, but definitely for black folks, it'll be better. What Democrats want is to bring in a bunch of illegal aliens to replace black people because what they want is that low class of labor. They want the class stratification, or Republicans say, everybody go out there, make it happen, and we're not so much into class stratification as Democrats are. So when they say you hate yourself, what they really want to say is you hate slavery and you want to be free. That's all that means. That's all that I hear. When she says that, all I hear is get back on the plantation, boy. All I hear is a slave whip cracking. That's all I hear. All right, let's keep on going though. This has got to be one of my favorite videos of the year so far, for sure. ICE agent out there in Minnesota dealing with the awfuls and the awful leader. Hey, RP to the headphone user because of the whistle. RP to the headphone users. Let's keep going.
Yeah, families should be ripped apart. That's kind of our energy. Like we should rip people apart from their families.
Are you a man?
Wow. Is that a question?
Wow.
Okay. How do you feel about ripping people from their families? Does that feel good?
Fucking house nigga in here. Sir, I need to move. Fucking house nigga working for the fucking KKK.
What the fuck's wrong with you people? Why are you calling a woman a man? I mean, what kind of a guy does that?
Fucking house nigga, bitch. Go look for your fucking slave.
All right, so look, hold on. Before we continue, that's probably the guy right there that hit him with the N-word. funny mustache, but whatever. Hey man, what's going on with these people, man? Like, what's really happening? You got a Hitler mustache as a black dude. That's why you said the N word. See.
A warning for what, sir? A warning for what?
A warning to quit following our vehicle.
Because?
Because we're conducting law enforcement operations.
Yes, and we're allowed to film you doing those law enforcement operations. We still have a First Amendment, sir. We are not impeding your operations. We're merely filming them.
Now you are interfering with our operations, so do not continue to follow.
We're press. We're press. We can follow you and film you.
We're press. We have a right to.
Are you trying to get rid of the First Amendment?
Okay, now that last part. Just because you're press does not give you any privilege in society. That's not how that works. That's not how it works. You can't just say, oh, I'm press, I can do whatever I want. Nah. Really, as a member of the press, you are on the same page as me. The only difference may be if you are employed by somebody and they're able to give you a press pass somewhere. Okay, you are employed by CBS News and you want to go, let's say you want to go to the White House press briefing room, and the White House is giving passes to certain organizations, CBS being one of them. So if you are a journalist for CBS, you're able to get that through them. But the way it is now, you could be a regular guy or girl and sign up to become part of the press room and get put on that way without having to go through a gatekeeper of a mainstream media organization. What is the privilege you have beyond me as a so-called member of the press? You don't have any. You can't just do whatever you want. Same thing with the right to bear arms. Okay, you have the right to bear arms, but you can't do whatever you want with their right. That's not the way that works. Okay, you can't just go and wave the gun around in the bank and say, give me all the money in the bank. That's called bank robbery. Oh, nah, ABL, right to bear arms. Okay, you have the right to bear arms, but not the right to rob anybody with your actual gun. You can't just go shoot people for no reason and say, right to bear arms. No, you can't do that. Same thing with the press. You have rules you must follow the same as everybody else. There's no rule you have that you can break that we must follow as regular Americans. That's just not the reality. So I want that notion to get out of everybody's head. All right. And then also somebody going to say, what's their outlet? Awful TV 10, AWFL TV 10, 102.9 AWFL radio, AM radio. That's their outlet right there. All right. Now, this video was titled, it's supposed to be about the whole N-word thing from CNN. I want to see if they're really going to react because, sometimes topic is brought up and they just kind of mosey around it. They don't really address it. Let's see if they will, shall we?
Definitely anybody who violated an American's civil rights should be held accountable. Let's all remember the circumstances in which ICE is operating. Today I saw a video of a white protester calling an ICE agent by the N-word repeatedly. Utterly disgusting. We have seen ICE agents plowed into with cars. We have seen them getting sprayed. We have seen them, the whistles. We have seen them being attacked physically. So, the situation is complicated. It is violent. The protesters have been horrible. And as a result, I will tell you, Abby, there was a new Harvard-Harris poll that came out January 28th to 29th. And it found that Donald Trump's approval is down overall. There's only one issue that he's above 50% on, and it's responding to anti-ICE protests in Minneapolis, where he has 51% approval. I don't think ICE has ever faced this level of objection, obstruction, violent resistance. And I think to take that out of the equation when judging how they're behaving, of course we should hold law enforcement to a higher standard. If you hold a weapon and you are licensed by the government to use that weapon, that is a huge responsibility, and we want them to operate in every moment at the highest standard. But to take away the situation in which they are operating, which is a first, I think is kind of, it's not fair, and it's not an objective analysis of what they're
a chicken or an egg kind of.
Okay, so not much in the way of response, just because of where the clip was, but that was, pretty well laid out, a lot of what's happening out there in Minnesota. Oh, and something else. Okay, right to bear arms. You can't just go fight cops. And if you do decide to fight cops with a gun on you, well, hey, man, they got guns too, and they can fight too. So, I mean, you picking the fight you might lose. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not into picking fights. That's not my thing. And I most certainly wouldn't do it while I'm armed and I'm trying to fight a group of cops. I mean, at that point, I'm asking to get myself deleted. But anyway. So, in Minnesota, they got these blockades or checkpoints they didn't set up. Now, I did not know it was legal to set up a checkpoint just by yourself. Okay, I've been stopped at checkpoints before, but by police. Okay, never in my life I've been stopped at a checkpoint with just regular citizens. Okay, guys wearing carpenter jeans and stuff like this, talking about some, hey, pull your car over. Hey, man, I ain't pulling nothing over. I'm gonna just, hey, it's gonna be, hey, if y'all in the way, it's not my fault. I need y'all to get out the way. Don't false imprison me. Let me do my own thing. Okay. What in the world? What kind of jeans are these? Is this Jinko? What's going on? Man, have I stepped into a time portal? I'm seeing carpenter jeans and Jinko jeans. Like 2001 all over again. But anyway.
We are literally creating a place that we know who's coming and going in and out of our neighborhoods.
In the middle of the road at 32nd and Cedar Avenue, a makeshift roadblock turned this intersection into a roundabout. Cars slowed as drivers noticed, some honked, others asked questions, and one man brought food for the people standing watch. Hi, sir. Thank you so much. How did it make you feel just seeing a community checkpoint in your neighborhood?
Well, you know, it felt fine. I don't have any trouble with folks helping out.
Wade Haynes has been standing at this corner twice a day for one reason: to stand up against ICE activity and keep his community safe. He chose this corner. Others chose this intersection.
It's kind of inspiring. It's like, wow, okay. We've got folks out there who are kind of taking care of us, looking out for us. That's good.
But Minneapolis police stepped in, clearing the roadblock and restoring flow of traffic.
Honestly, I'm kind of...
Hold on, let's go back. You see a little sign? You see that? Now, you know you got way too much time on your hands when you're able to craft a cardboard 3D rendering of a hand flashing the middle finger. That's creative, though. That's really creative. But, you know, that creativity should be channeled into more productive things. More, you know, better endeavors, not being out here doing this.
Traffic.
Honestly, I'm kind of sad about it.
Still, residents say the roadblock was necessary.
We need to keep our neighbors safe, so we will be doing this again.
All right, there we go. So that's what's happening. Okay, so yeah, a roadblock, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. Like, look at this. Imagine you just trying to go to work, right? You just trying to do your job. You delivering stuff, delivering packages. And then you come across the roundabout or whatever. Hold on. Are they going to show it? There you go. Yeah. You got people in the streets. You got random debris and all kind of stuff. It's like, man, y'all probably got all kind of loose debris outside of the perimeter of the actual roadblock. It's going to puncture my tire. I got to go to, the tire shop. I got to get a spare out. It's 2 degrees out here. It's cold. Nobody got time for that. Nobody has time for that. All right, let's keep going. Now, speaking about roundabouts, speaking about the roads out there in Minnesota, Minneapolis to be exact, you got some ICE agents having a good time with the neighbors who are following them. They get to a roundabout and play Ring Around the Rosie. Let's watch.
Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Hey, check it out. We can do this all day long. Y'all want to follow us and get in the way? Okay, follow this. We're going to drive around this roundabout for an hour. Hey, follow that. Follow that. Now, if you're doing that all day, if you got an hour of your time or whatever it is to just follow somebody around a roundabout, then you need to find something else to do. Hey, find a better hobby. find a better way to spend your time if you got that kind of time to be going around a roundabout playing with the ICE agents. Like, what is going on? Nah, I'm not doing that. That's just not really what I have time in my life to dedicate toward. We got those all around here, roundabouts. If I see a guy hit the roundabout more than once, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Get out of the roundabout. Because I see some of y'all in roundabout playing all kind of, burning donuts in the roundabout. It's like, bro, get out of the thing. But hey, if you want to play, you can play. It's totally fine. The ICE agents, hey, you guys are fantastic. Love y'all. The videos I see from y'all are fantastic. Now, speaking about ICE agents, this guy says he claims that they hit his car with an EMP. He says the ICE agents hit his Toyota Prius with an EMP. Now, I'm not sure if he's telling the truth. I'm leaning more towards he's not telling the truth, but let's hear from him anyway.
It's been confirmed that ICE used an EMP on my Toyota Prius battery. If you know anything about Toyota Priuses, the battery is made up of 21 cells. When just one of them is down too low, the battery's done. That's a $3,000 battery and a $6,000 to $5,000 replacement. Not just one of my batteries was gone, but over half out of absolutely nowhere. Nothing was ever wrong with this Toyota Prius. This is difficult, but I'm reaching out to community because I understand the power of our mutual aid networks here in Minneapolis. After ICE has literally destroyed this vehicle while I was on ICE Watch, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all Lavish Mac.
Yeah, now we ain't gonna do that, bro. So do y'all believe him? Do y'all believe that his Venmo got, do you believe that his Venmo? Do y'all believe that his Prius got hit with an EMP? Is that what happened? Or is it 80 degrees below zero in Minneapolis and these things don't work too well in the cold? The batteries don't charge too well in the cold. Maybe that's happening, but maybe the EMP is what happened. Maybe the EMP just your car alone and nobody else is in the area. Okay, is that what happened? Now, if it did, shout out to the agents, but I doubt it. It's just cold out there. We've seen this before. I did a video, I don't know if it was last year before that, in Chicago where people could not charge their cars because it was too cold. The chargers were either frozen or simply just not working because of the cold. The not internal combustion. Your electric vehicles do not work very well when it's extremely cold or extremely hot. It needs to be kept at a certain temperature to operate efficiently. This is part of the reason why I don't want to get an electric vehicle. It's too many complications. The battery could go bad because of the temperature. It might not charge. It takes a long time to charge. If the battery goes bad or it gets damaged, expensive to replace. Give me a regular internal combustion engine vehicle. Give me that all day long. I go to the gas station if I need gas. In 2 minutes, I'm filled up. 5 minutes max on the truck because I got a big tank. 5 minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes. I can put my gas pump in the vehicle, let it run, go inside the store, get me Arizona green tea, a pack of gum, some of them little trail mix, some of them sourdough, you know what I'm talking about, a little sourdough trail mix, you know what I'm talking about. And the brown bag, the Gargettos or whatever, let me get some of that. And when I come out, all of a sudden, it's done. I hop in the vehicle, go about my way. You got an EV and you got to fill up outside your house? Okay, well, find somewhere to park. Find the EV station that works. If you can't, oh well. Find one that works and stay there for about 45 minutes on the low end. I don't like that. I don't like it. But anyway, let's keep on going. Now, did you guys see this? Now, I probably won't be able to show, it probably won't show too much, but this person picked up a flashbang. Now, I didn't see this angle of it before. I saw the one angle where you picked the flashbang up. He was on the ground crying because half his hand got blown off with the flashbang. But here is before.
For you and you
for the thousands in attendance here at ringside,
we're ready for you,
and the millions watching around the world on television. This is the moment
think about that.
we've all been
waiting for. A few moments later.
Not us.
So there we go. After the whole thing happened, you're on the ground crazy because you picked up a flash grenade and it blew your hand off. You know what? More of the story, don't pick up these flashbangs. Don't touch them. I would say just stay home and don't even get involved. But if you're going to be out there and you want to be a warrior, you want to be a frontline person, okay, when you see the flashbang or a grenade or anything like that, don't touch it. Don't try to pick it up and throw it back, because when it blows up, hey, man, all of this right here, you're going to have cartilage, bone, fingertip, all of that going to be all over the place. So, hey, man, you're going to be permanently disfigured. You don't want that to be the case. All right? You don't want that to be the case. Okay, now, here is Jacob Fry talking about the impact of the raids, saying 50% of Somali businesses, well, 50% of the income to Somalis and their businesses is down because of the raids. Imagine that. Imagine, hey, Jacob Fry, imagine that the economy will suffer after massive fraud is discovered and all these illegal aliens are deported. Yeah, of course, because you don't have the illegal aliens spending stolen money in your economy. Yeah, it's going to dip. You can't point to that as some type of bad thing from the government. That's a good thing, because you cannot build an economy on fraud.
So I'm sitting at my desk here and just got some really sobering figures about the impact that this Operation Metro Surge by ICE is having on our communities. And we've all heard about the families getting torn apart. We've all heard about the constitutional violations. We've heard about people going hungry. And in addition to that, there's a massive impact on our small and local businesses. Small local businesses collectively are losing between $10 and $20 million every single week. Businesses along cultural corridors are down at least 50%, and the Latino-owned businesses and Somali-owned businesses are drastically below that. Hotels have lost about $4.4 million because of cancellations. And so for those that claim that they care about our economy and care about businesses, there is a very quick and straightforward antidote to bring these businesses back, which is to have Operation Metro Surge end and to have ICE leave our city. Let's bring the economy back. Let's help these businesses out. Let's make sure that our city can return to this great comeback that we were seeing, and let's get ICE to leave.
All right, there we go. So look, Jacob Fry, I don't really care that your economy is dipped because of all the fraud that's been discovered and the illegal aliens who have been removed. That's not really my problem, bro. That's not my problem. Hey, try building your economy with actual residents and money that comes from productivity rather than stealing from the federal government. Rather than stealing from the taxpayers of this country, build a real economy. See, that's why they don't want the migrants to be deported, and they want the fraud to keep going, because it's all about money. Hey, how are we going to power our economy without stealing from the federal government? How are we going to have bodies to go spend the stolen money if we deport all these people that are here illegally? See, that's why they out there fighting so hard. That's why, in my opinion, there's a financial incentive behind the so-called protesters, because they're trying to spend money to keep the migrants here, to keep the gravy train rolling. They know what's going on with the fraud. You got 40 healthcare centers in one building, and ain't nobody getting no health or care in them buildings. But y'all know what's going on. It takes Nick Shirley, a kid, to go discover that. Come on. Y'all knew, and you were covering it up because the money was so lucrative. That's why you did it. That's why. All right. Now, here is Jasmine Crockett saying there's quite a bit of fraud under the Biden administration.
I think that there were a lot of things that, because we were in a unique set of circumstances, that they handled in ways that you wouldn't normally handle them. We know that there was an insane amount of fraud as it relates to PPP loans, that kind of stuff. We know that as it relates to people that were seeking refuge in our country, as it relates to the pandemic, obviously we tend to be a leader. I think.
So yeah, it's quite a bit of fraud under Biden. And a lot of the fraud, aside from the PPP and stuff like that, aside from that, you're talking about fraud that happens all over the country in different states like Minnesota that y'all overlooked when Biden was in office. Y'all overlooked that. Okay, y'all just, hey, no big deal. Let's let it keep going. And my thing is this, okay, if you're going to overlook the fraud happening in Minnesota because Somalis or whatever, okay, then why get on regular Americans' back about what they owe and paying taxes and stuff like this? Okay, you sending letters to people talking about you owe $200 in taxes, but they steal in billions in Minnesota and it's totally fine. If it's okay to steal billions, then why must I pay? Oh, I forgot. Look, I'm asking a rhetorical question. I know the answer. I got to pay the taxes because if I don't pay the taxes, then they can't steal it. Look, I have no problem paying taxes if it's not stolen and it's not stolen with the blessing of the government, because that's what's happening. They see what's going on and refuse to do anything about it. So if you're going to take my tax money, okay, let's spend it wisely and let's not let people steal it. Especially since if I steal it, look, if you or I, as regular, normal Americans, if we steal the money, hey, man, you're going to have to face at the door. The face will be at the door. Hey, if you steal $100, $200 from the feds, they'll be at your door like, yo, what's going on, Mr. Logan? You stole 25 cents from the federal government? Hey, man, time to go to the penitentiary. Meanwhile, Akbar Muhammad from Somalia steals 14 million and ain't no problem. All right. Okay, I see. All right, let's keep on going. This is a funny story. I might do a full video on it. Well, it's not funny like ha ha. It's just kind of crazy. Have you guys ever seen The Wire, the TV show about Baltimore, the drug trade, everything else? Have you guys seen that show? Now, that show was in many ways based on real life, based on real things happened in Baltimore, Maryland. This particular story reminds me of an episode of The Wire. It's just like The Wire. It's to the point where I can't believe that it's even happening. Now, this is mayor of Baltimore. What's his name? Baltimore mayor Brandon. His name is Brandon Scott. Brandon Scott got himself involved in a controversy because he allegedly stole some money to give to baby mama. And I'm not making this up. Let's watch this, shall we?
Mrs. Scott started working as the director of operations for Be More.
Hold on, let me start from the top.
Mrs. Scott started working as the director of operations for Be More Empowered in September 2021. She started dating the mayor in 2022. Her employer began to receive money through the Baltimore city government in 2023, totaling $34,950 taxpayer dollars by 2024. And that's not all. The Downtown Partnership of Baltimore awarded Be More Empowered $80,000 through a taxpayer-funded program in July 2023, a day before the Scotts went public with their relationship through a pregnancy announcement. The taxpayer-backed Baltimore Children and Youth Fund sent Be More Empowered $62,500 from July 2023 to June 2024. Meanwhile, Be More Empowered has not filed a tax form since 2023, meaning it's almost a year behind its required filings with the IRS. And none of its previous tax forms mention Mrs. Scott's position or salary. Plus, Be More Empowered is listed on the Maryland government's charity database as delinquent.
So this one is a bit of a head scratcher.
It's not. You see what's going on. There's clearly some stealing going on. It's stealing. Okay. All right, Brandon Scott, here's what I think happened. You got with the young lady and you're the mayor. You have the ability to redirect some funds to this particular thing that she's part of. There's more to this. We can get to it in a minute. But it's not a head scratcher. So far, it's obvious what's happening. You are misusing taxpayer funds for your baby mama. I mean, come on. And y'all not even really good at it. You see, the Somalis are good at it. The Somalis would do everything by the book on paper. You guys ain't filing no taxes, making it look obvious, going from point A to point B without a kind of middleman. the Somalis do everything. They got them platinum plus scams with the Somalis. In Baltimore, the Black Americans up there, them in Baltimore, the leadership right there, is not very good. All right, let's keep going. There's more to the story.
That's Linda Parsons, a professor at the University of Alabama, specializing in nonprofit accounting. She said Be More Empowered needs to explain how it's managing taxpayer money. Mrs. Scott lists on her LinkedIn that she stopped working at Be More Empowered in September, which was the same month the nonprofit announced an organizational pause and was sued for not paying rent. Attempts to reach Mrs. Scott for comment were unsuccessful. Be More Empowered received $25,000 from the Baltimore city government in 2023, stemming from the Federal American Rescue Plan Act. In 2024, Be More Empowered received $9,950 listed for the Youth Works program, which runs under the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. The $80,000 Be More Empowered received from the Downtown Partnership came through the Boost program, which is funded through a combination of private and public money.
Pause. That's quite a bit of money going to this particular woman through this weird arrangement. Now, I'm asking, okay, I have a question for you guys, because some are going to say, some might try to rationalize this by asking how much he makes on the salary. So I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think the mayor of Baltimore, Brandon Scott, makes for his salary for being the mayor? Okay, what do y'all think? Give me some numbers. I'm going to pause for a minute, and I'm going to see some numbers in the chat. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep going, and then I'll tell you at the end.
Mayor Scott sent $1.6 million in ARPA money to downtown partnerships in 2022 to help back the Boost program Be More Empowered benefited from 1 year later. A spokesman for Downtown Partnership told Spotlight on Maryland that Be More Empowered spent the $80,000 in accordance with its contract, which he said he could not provide. A point that Parsons questioned.
When you have government funds, the contract is not available is not an option. Once you agree to take government funds, whether from your city or state or federal government, it's your obligation to be as transparent as possible.
The Boost grant to Be More Empowered was intended for the organization to spend on a new office space downtown on North Howard Street. However, a previous Spotlight on Maryland investigation found they never moved into that location, instead opening an office on North Charles Street, where they were sued in September for not paying rent.
Now, I think I've seen that exact corner right there on the wire. Now, maybe my eyes deceive me. Maybe I'm not remembering properly. Maybe there's a corner that looks just like that. But I think I've seen that same exact corner on the wire. Maybe I'm wrong, but I digress.
For not paying rent and since moved out. Downtown Partnership's president, Shalonda Stokes, has a salary of $317,000. Stokes' Instagram shows several photos and videos.
Wait. This is the best part, okay? This is the best part, okay?
Downtown Partnership's president, Shalonda Stokes, has a salary of $317,000. Stokes' Instagram shows several photos and videos of her with Mrs. Scott, including attending a Beyonce concert together last summer in a group that also included the wife of Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
Hey, man, come on. I got to hide it better than that. So the mayor's wife and the governor's wife going to Beyonce concerts, going on Instagram. I'm sure they got bags and all kind of stuff, all kind of just flossing, just excessive money spending for no reason. Bro, Brandon, come on, man. What are we doing? And to Wes Moore, the governor, what are you doing? Bro, come on, man. Make it any more obvious. You're funneling the money through this particular thing so they're able to go on their girls' trips. Okay, so they're able to go to Cancun and Beyonce concerts. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, man, y'all got to stop with that scamming stuff. And to answer the question that I posed earlier, he makes $215, that's his salary, 215,000 U.S. American dollars a year for being the mayor of Baltimore, Maryland. Okay, $215,000, what he makes. Now, out of that $215,000, you can't buy her a Beyonce concert ticket, but you know what? It's not even about that. It's about the whole life. You want to be like the Real Housewives of Baltimore, basically. That's what y'all want to be. And to do that, it takes a lot of money. So you got to steal money from the taxpayers. Hey, man, it's crazy. But anyway, let's keep rocking and rolling. Oh, speaking about incompetent leaders, Kathy Hochul is talking about having stricter gun laws. And she says something really crazy right here, a really crazy claim about how guns fire. You ready for it? Let's watch.
You'll no longer sell handguns that can be converted into semi-automatic machines able to fire 1,200 rounds a minute. Not here, not in New York.
Okay, I don't understand how that works. I'm gonna hear that one more time because my brain kind of it kind of glitched. I'm like, what? I kind of didn't really get all that. One more time, shall we?
You'll no longer sell handguns that can be converted into semi-automatic machines able to fire 1,200 rounds a minute. Not here, not in New York.
Okay, so I got a question for you guys. For the gun guys out there, what kind of gun fires 1,200 rounds a minute? What kind of handgun does that? What you got a warthog? You got a war plane for a handgun? You got a war bomber? You got something that you're gonna see over in Iran or somewhere hitting the bunker? Like, what you got for a handgun? Last I checked, your magazine gonna be about what, 10 rounds, 15 rounds? So there's so much wrong. First of all, you're talking about banning guns that can be converted into fully automatic, not semi-automatic. Okay, fully automatic means you depress the trigger and bullets just spray out. That's what fully automatic means. You push the trigger, hold it, push it one time, whatever it is, and bullets just come out automatically. Semi-automatic means you push the trigger one time, a bullet comes out, and the next bullet you're ready to fire is loaded automatically into the chamber after you fire one. Okay, you fire a bullet in the chamber, it exits, and the magazine, if it has ammunition in it, will feed automatically the next bullet into the chamber ready to fire. But you got to pull the trigger for each bullet that comes out of your actual gun. So she's saying you can't convert the semi-autos and the fully autos. Now, how are you going to stop that? Just stop guns from being produced? You're going to have revolvers. You're going to have single shot rifles. Like, would it be like manual rifles? What are we talking about exactly? If you don't know about what you're talking about, then you shouldn't even really be talking about it, in my humble opinion. Bring on the gun guy and learn from him. All right, now Mom Donnie, and off to a great start. Well, not really, not necessarily. Now, I'm not going to say everything's all his fault because he just got there. So if something happens, I can't necessarily say that it's all his fault. But some things I can say I'm going to put on the feet of Mom Donnie, or I'm going to criticize him for. Now, this was a situation of an officer-involved shooting, and the guy who got shot had a knife, was armed, and was attacking the officer. Now, here's what Mom Donnie said about the situation. We're going to see what Mom Donnie said, then we're going to see the actual incident in question, okay? Check it out.
And as you said, I spoke with the Chakraborty family, and I visited Chavez in the hospital. And there is no family should have to endure this kind of pain.
One more time, hold on.
And as you said, I spoke with the Chakraborty family, and I visited Chavez in the hospital. And there is no family should have to endure this kind of pain.
Okay, that's his take on that. Now let's see what actually happened here. Okay, let's see what happened. All right, hold on. I'm reading this right here. It says, Mom Donnie demands treatment instead of charges after an NYPD response mental health care crisis. All right. Let's just watch some of this and see what happened. I'm not sure if what I read right there was what he said. But here's what happened.
Ever since I've been watching videos, I don't stand by the door no more, bro. How you doing?
Are you cold?
You called?
Yes.
You coming?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. No, you're fine. You're fine. Good.
Baba, no!
Hey, put the knife down! 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 Move! knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
And there you go. Night, night. So what happens when someone is approaching you with a knife? They're trying to attack you. They're trying to stab you to death. You say, put a knife down, put a knife down. You said that over and over again. You're repeating yourself. You have the gun in your hand. You're the police. You got on uniform. What happens? So what else can you say other than, hey, man, it's unfortunate, but he did it to himself? That's what I would say. Now, speaking about New York, hey, I have some pictures here I want you to see. And I want you guys to let me know if this is just what New York is all about, if this is just regular for New York or what's going on. Now, the whole trash kerfuffle. Is this what it like? Is that how it is in the wintertime? You got snow with all kind of stuff on it and then trash like right there on the side. Is that how that works? Let's say you got a snow day and the trucks can't come through or whatever. Is it like that? Is it like this? Let me know. Like, what's really going on? Hey, man, imagine you living in them houses right there, in them apartments or whatever, and you got this mountain of trash outside. Like, what is this? Now, to my New Yorkers, is this normal? Because we're seeing pictures, and it might not be in full context, because sometimes it could be some things that happen. You got a snowstorm or whatever. I don't really know. Is that normal? Is that the way it's supposed to be? I got some videos, too. Hold on. Let's just show this right quick. Oh, you already know the rats are going to be exuberant for all this fuel they have on the side of the actual road, on the side of the sidewalk. They're going to be exuberant. Looks like India. I almost said looks like India. I almost said that. Or it not quite like a Bangladesh, but most certainly India. Yeah. And, you know, a few more days and it'll look like Bangladesh. You have this road right here full of trash as well. Now, my question to you guys again, my New Yorkers, is this normal? Is that regular? Or is it irregular? Y'all let me know. Okay. Rats big as raccoons. Exactly. It's crazy. But yeah, that's New York. So hopefully y'all guys get it cleaned up. Okay. Now speaking about New York, we got a little, got something for Black History Month. Okay. They got a little seat reserved for Rosa Parks. Okay. Now we all know about Rosa Parks. Shout out to her. But a little quick info about Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was a person who was trained to be a communist at the Highlander Folk School here in Tennessee and Monteagle, which is between here and Nashville. It's like probably about an hour, maybe less from my house where I live at right now, probably about an hour away. Maybe like 45 minutes depending on the traffic, Monteagle, Tennessee. She went there for a while to learn about communism, Marxism, etc. So did MLK. Around the same time in the early 60s. Now, Rosa Parks went back to Birmingham and she staged the bus boycott with the help of the NAACP. It was supposed to be Claudette Colvin, but she was 15 years old, dark-skinned, and pregnant by a white pastor, allegedly. So she was not a good pick. So what they did was they picked the trained communist Rosa Parks. That's the reality of what happened. Now, you may like her for what she did or not, but it is what it is. Now, speaking about black women or people who identify as black, Kamala Harris. Okay, so Kamala, what are we doing? This was just posted like an hour or two ago on her Twitter. We got some sound, huh? Get some sound right quick. Okay, so we got an announcement coming up tomorrow, I suppose. So what will be the announcement? What will be the announcement? Give me your opinion. Is it going to be her running for office again in 2028? Is it going to be someone else running? What's going to happen? Okay, and again, Kamala HQ headquarters. What's going on? What are we doing? What's happening? do you think Kamala will run again for president? I think they are silly enough to do it. And she is not a very smart person. She'd do it. Now, Kamala, Democrats, if you're smart, you wouldn't do this because you know you can't win. You know she cannot win. So ain't no point in doing this. But since y'all kind of silly, you probably would do it. And my question would be, if it's not Kamala, then who would it be in 2028 running for president? I mean, I guess Gavin. Maybe she might try to be Gavin Newsom's vice president. That might be the play here. But we'll see. We shall see. Okay, we shall see. All right, let's keep going here. All right, let's keep going. Hold on. Oh, let's get to Bill Gates. Okay, let's get to Bill Gates. So as I said before, in the Epstein files, there was an allegation that Bill Gates had been with some Russian escorts, I suppose, and he caught an STD. And when he came back to the U.S., he was seeking out antibiotics for himself and to slip to Melinda because he could have passed it to her. All right. He out there dealing with them. They give him an STD. He brings it back to his wife and gets her infected as well. That's the story. That's the allegation. I'm not saying it's true, but that is the story from the Epstein files. So they asked Bill Gates about that story. Let's watch.
No doubt seen the allegations, including some of them from the last 24 to 48 hours. Are they true?
No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. Was he trying to attack me in some way? But, it just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I apologize that I did that.
The problem is some of the things that he has sent and some of the...
Hold on. Somebody said Windows virus. That's hilarious. A Windows virus for Bill Gates having the STD from Russia. That was a great joke.
The problem is some of the things that he has sent and some of the information about other people that has come up in those files has been true. Why would he do this and say this about you, do you think?
It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Is it frustrating to you, given what you've said, that this is now happening?
Not really. I mean, people should, hold people who are successful to a very high bar. And so, it's as these documents come out, they're going to be closely scrutinized.
Okay.
All right, there we go. So do y'all believe Bill Gates, what he says? As I said from the beginning, it's not really my business if he had that happen. If he went to Russia, got with some escorts and got an STD, that's not really my business. I'm not going to sit here and say that that's a good thing to do, but it's not my business because it's not illegal. Well, it wouldn't be illegal because how are you going to prosecute that? There's not any underage things going on from what I'm able to see here with Bill Gates. Now, it could be, but I've not seen anything that says that as of yet. But this is very embarrassing. Now, they not only asked Bill, they also asked Melinda.
The emails.
His ex-wife. Okay. Now, Melinda should not be talking because her face tells a lot of the story. She can't really be a liar because her face communicates. But anyway, let's watch some of this.
The emails in the files suggest that Bill Gates had additional affairs and that he tried to get medication to treat a sexually transmitted infection and that he was going to give you the medicine without you knowing. His representative has said all of this is false. It is not on you to have to respond to the details of that alleged behavior, but I wonder what your dominant emotion is when you read these news articles with these details.
Sad. Just unbelievable sadness.
I don't buy that because I don't think that she was in the dark about that. I don't think that Bill Gates was having all these affairs behind her back because let's not forget, because I covered the story about Bill Gates before. Remember, he had a side chick a mistress for 25 years of their marriage. He would go to the Outer Banks, North Carolina, not far from where I grew up in Virginia. He would go every year for 25 years to the Outer Banks with the side chick for a vacation. 25 years. And she knew about that. So if you knew about that, then why would he hide something else he's doing? It doesn't make any sense. But that's my opinion.
Unbelievable sadness, right? And again, I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And so for me, it's just sadness for, I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. So it's just sad. That's the truth, right? And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life.
Are y'all buying it? Are y'all buying it? Do you believe it? I'm not buying nothing she's saying because she's kind of funny with her movements. I'm not really. It doesn't really make sense. Now look, okay, here's a good example of the whole Epstein file situation. Now, Brett Ratner, I believe Brett Ratner just did the Melania movie. Yeah, because he was the guy behind the Melania movie. Brett Ratner. Make sure I'm saying the right thing. All right. So Brett Ratner was the director or something like that for Melania. Yeah, Brett, he was the director of the Melania movie, okay? Also in the Epstein files, next to Epstein. But here is him saying what's happening with this picture. All right, matter of fact, hold on. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the full thing. So here on the right-hand side, that's Brett Ratner, a woman, Jeffrey Epstein, and a woman. Let's hear him explain what's happening in this picture.
Brett, I want to just switch gears quickly to the very serious and big stories in the news, the Epstein files. As you know, a picture came out of you with Jeffrey Epstein with two apparently young women in it. What is your response to that picture? And what is your response to the wider scandal of the Epstein files?
Oh, well, that picture in particular happened around 20 years ago, 19, 20 to 21 years ago, because that is a photograph of my fiance who invited me to this event. And that's where the picture was taken. I had never been in contact with Jeffrey Epstein before that photo, and I was never in contact with him after. So that's a picture of me and my fiance at some event.
Now, he could be telling the truth. It could be just, hey, I'm with my fiance. She said, hey, let's go here. They go there, and then boom, they're in a picture with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, that could be the truth, or it might not be the truth. How do we know? So that's what I'm saying. You could be in the Epstein files, but you didn't really do anything nefarious. You just in the picture with a guy at a party. That can actually happen. Do y'all believe him? I think I kind of believe him, but you never know. You never know. All right, let's keep rocking here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, have you guys heard I guess it's a meme at this point, because of the whole Minneapolis kerfuffle. Rachel Nicole Good, Alex Pretty. The whole thing is pretty good, right? You get it? Pretty good, dad joke. Well, this guy is not too fond of the pretty good meme, the pretty good dad joke. Let's check it out.
And for all the little country hick Gen Alpha, Gen Z people that just MAGA out of nowhere, pretty good. Do you know how low IQ of a joke that is? That shit is beyond Neanderthal, bro. You're joking about someone that was murdered in the fucking government. Yeah, that's funny. That's such a high IQ take, bro. Really shows how your soul looks. Like shit. All of you should be next in line.
Okay, first of all, you're threatening me. What's going on with that? That's not very nice, threatening me. But beyond that, it's a funny joke. It is what it is. Now, not all jokes got to be big-brained, right? Not all jokes must be big-brained. It could just be funny. And it's obvious. You can't even really bypass that. Pretty good. You got to use that because why not? Why not? And you know what's even funnier? What's funnier is thinking that you can actually take on a bunch of cops and border patrol and ICE agents with one gun, and they got 15 guys that all got guns and everything else. That's funny. What's funny is trying to hit a cop with a car, getting shot, and then be like, oh, I'm the victim. That's funny if you want to talk about it. So yeah, shout out to Pretty Good. That's a pretty good joke, a pretty good meme. I must say so myself. But anyway, let's keep on going here. Let's keep rocking and rolling.
Date.
Okay, my man has a question. This guy has a question. He has no funds, but he wants to escape America. What should he do? Let's watch.
Day 2 of asking anyone in TikTok land how an American citizen with no job and no money can flee the United States of America, and where can I go?
Okay, now you have options, bro. There are options. You could, I don't know, get in the water and swim somewhere. Get in the water and swim. Oh, maybe go to like Mexico illegally and try to survive some kind of way. Do you pick it a penny? I doubt it. What are you going to do down there for a living? If you can't get a job here in America, how are you going to get a job down there? You see, all the migrants are coming here for jobs. You are leaving with no job. What are you going to do? You can't just live in a different country with no money. So, but you can leave. I mean, you can swim. You can start walking. It don't cost nothing to walk. It don't cost nothing to swim. Well, your lungs might collapse in the water after like 5 minutes, but it don't cost nothing. Same thing with walking. You might get bad knee, bad toe, bad back, bad everything from walking for a long time, but it's free. So get to walking, try to get through the border illegally to Mexico and keep on walking. What's funny is on your route, you're going to see not very many of you going that way and more of them going the other way. And you're going to cross paths. You can be like, where you going? No, so where you going? So wait. My advice would be just tighten yourself up in America because you're already in the best place. If you want a place like America, ain't nothing. You're already here. You're at the top of the top already. So just figure it out. And you know what I would say? If you're living in a small town, not a lot of stuff going on, not a lot of employment, just move somewhere else. Yeah, your ancestors, they moved. Maybe they came here from Great Britain during slavery time. Maybe they came post-slavery. Maybe they came recently. But they came. They went somewhere else for a better opportunity. You're not immune from that. You can do the same thing. So where should he go, y'all? Should he go? Where can he go with no money, no job, no nothing? Where can he go in this world like that? All right.
Talked about
now. No, I won't play that. It's too much stuff on it. All right. So look, we got the big game coming up. Super Bowl Sunday is upon us, and Green Day will be one of the performers. I think they're going to do the opening acts. I'm not quite sure, but Green Day will be there. Now, this young lady is giving a little bit of a preview of what Green Day may do at the big game. Check it out.
Not a part of a MAGA agenda. Everybody to the propaganda. Sing along in the age of paranoia. Not a part of a.
All right, so hey, what do y'all think? How about the performance from Wendy from Wendy's? Was that a good one? A plus? Like what's happening with that? And you know what's funny? The funny part is they might just do something like that during Super Bowl. They might do exactly that. They might do this exact song. That'd be hilarious. Totally funny. But you know what? I ain't gonna watch it, so it don't matter. Hey, whatever they do, I'm not even gonna see it. Not in real time. I might see it on my phone, but I'm not gonna give them my viewership or nothing to watch something like that transpire. Not in the least bit. So yeah, there we go. Said, do I hate you? Nah, I love y'all. It's all good. But hey, since I saw that, you had to see it too. Okay, I couldn't watch that you guys had to watch it with me. I could not watch that by myself. You had to watch it with me. All right, let's keep going. Now, this guy says ICE is coming to Atlanta and they better be ready because these guys in Atlanta have guns. Let's watch.
Someone said ICE is coming to Atlanta. Do you know how many guns are in Atlanta alone? There are like 6 times the amount of guns than people. And most people have them. And they're not afraid to use them. Look, this ain't the North, bro. This ain't the North. We play a little different here in Atlanta. Most people here are just gonna slime you and go straight to the Waffle House after. No, genuinely, I'm warning you, ICE agent watching this, do not go to Atlanta, bro. You will die. That will be your end, I promise you. Someone said,
okay, there's a lot here. First of all, Mr. Northside Soldier, Mr. Johns Creek, Alpharetta, Northside boss. First of all, yes, you're right. There are a lot of guns in Georgia, a lot of guns in Atlanta, and it can get active. However, the gun owners in Georgia and Atlanta for real, but all over the state of Georgia, are going to support ICE. These guys with the guns for real, man, they're going to do Overwatch. They're going to do all type of stuff. They're going to assist the ICE agents. These guys are going to be volunteers to help ICE get their stuff done. What they should do is set up an ICE recruitment center right there in Buckhead. Hey, put an ICE center right there in Buckhead, another one up there in the north, another one in the south of Atlanta. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of guys that signed up, and they're going to be very effective, just like GSP, the police out there. Hey, try running from the GSP. You're going to get pit maneuver all over the road. Your car will do a barrel roll down I-75 South. You understand what I'm saying? So, yes, there are a lot of guns in Georgia, a lot of guns in Atlanta, but they will be used to help ICE, not to get in the way at all. This is not Minnesota. It's not Los Angeles. This is the South. This is Atlanta. And it is different here. It ain't Minnesota. Talking about something, they're going to summon you go to, man, they ain't gonna, that ain't going to, and the black folks, if you have noticed, minding their business. When you see these so-called protests or ICE, it's going to be 99.9% awfuls, white folks, white liberals, female urban, the affluent white female urban liberals. It's not going to be the white guys in Atlanta with guns that, you know, these guys might be veterans. They might be firearms instructors. They're not going to be doing those stuff to try to get in the way at all. At all. All right. Let's keep going here. Now, this could be controversial. And I want to preface this by saying not all, but some. Some immigrants do not respect Americans, okay? Some, not all.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but immigrants don't respect Americans or American culture. Let me
hold on one more time. Sorry for the weird pause.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but immigrants don't respect Americans or American culture. Let me explain how. If you did not know, I am half West African on my mom's side, you guys. And if there's one thing that I've learned from dealing with immigrants, not all of them, but most of them, it's that they don't respect American culture and they don't really respect American people. Most immigrants, and especially African immigrants, don't respect American culture. They think Americans are dumb. They think Americans have no culture in the first place. They think they are lazy and entitled. And the true essence of why they come to America is to make enough money to either send back home or plant their children here, and then they could send money back home and then pretty much leave and go back to their country just like my mom did. Now, do I think that's the worst possible thing that immigrants that come to this country can do? No. But as an American citizen who has been born in this country, who this is the country I've only ever known, I don't think it's very fair to the American people that we house people and welcome people who just come here and make illegal families and make illegal money just to go ship it back home and then never, ever, ever come back ever again after like 50 years. I think the jobs that these immigrants take up can be given to Americans. I think the houses that they take up could be given to Americans. And that's why I feel as if that as an American, in this current situation, you should kind of be insulted. So the question is, what was the point of this post? The point of this post was to make Americans realize that having empathy for people who come from the third world isn't really always what's best for you. because most of the people who come to this country aren't really looking to serve America. They're really just looking to serve themselves, their families, their culture, their ethnicities, and that's pretty much it. So I hope this helped.
Hey, that was very well said, sir. Very well said. And you're right on point. And like I said from the beginning, not all of the immigrants feel this way. And I understand that. But that is a thing. That is a thing. You talk to them and they might say stuff. And I've heard stuff from people like in real life, and my talk to people off the camera, and they say little stuff like that. You know, I've had some blacks. I ain't gonna say too much because I don't want to put anybody out. But a black person, well, an African person, I put it to you that way. An African person told me that they don't like African American culture. Straight up. I don't like it here in Atlanta. I don't like the African American culture. It's just too much. It's too much. Blah, blah, blah. It's too much for me. That's not uncommon. Here's my thing. You don't have to like us in America or our culture. But if you want to be here, you got to assimilate to what we do. If you can't just behave how we behave and get with the program, then you're in the way. You could go back. And if you're here illegally, then you can't tell me nothing. I don't care if you don't like Americans, if you don't like this, you don't like that, you got any kind of complaints, okay, so what? You're not even following the law. Go home. Matter of fact, hey, 888-DHS2 ICE. I'm calling the number on you if you're here illegally, period. Period. So don't cry about it when you get deported, how unfair it is when you only like where you at. You don't respect us. You don't really contribute anything of any value. You just taking. If you come here, you assimilate, you contribute, you appreciate, then come on. If not, then you could go, you could leave right now. That's how I feel. Shout out to the respectful immigrants who come here and they appreciate us and they give to us what we would expect from somebody coming over here, not just being a leech or a bump on the log or a problem, a nuisance we got to control, somebody to incarcerate, someone to feed with the government. If you ain't doing that, then it's fine. Totally fine. All right. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. Now, here's some perspective. This woman's parents lived in Seattle, Washington in 1949. What do you think they made for a combined salary in 1949, a dollar amount? What do you think two people working in Seattle in 1949 made for a salary? Let's watch.
I just found my grandparents' tax return from 1949 and 48. Okay, I'm going to show you them. But they lived in Seattle on Capitol Hill. They both worked and they did not have kids at the time. How much money do you think they made? They lived in an apartment complex in Seattle, Washington on Capitol Hill in 1949. Their tax return, both of their incomes combined, they filed jointly. Both of their names are on this tax return. How much money do you think they made a year? You got your guesses in?
Okay. Seattle, Washington is where they were employed. Totals for different stuff. This is their total, like adjusted gross income here. $6,054 for the whole year. They paid $712 in tax. Here is the back of it. It's like you use this tax table if you make under $5,000 a year and for like your dependents or whatever. And in 1948, they actually made $5,205 for the whole year. So 1 year earlier, they made $800 less for the whole year.
Today, that would be $82,000. So that's, again, that was both of their incomes combined was $6,000. So $82,000 combined income in Seattle, Washington, living on Capitol Hill. You probably would not be able to rent a Capitol Hill apartment in today's age if, as a couple, you only made $82,000 a year. I mean, $82,000 a year is a lot, but it's like, you know what I mean, for the adjusted rate of inflation. Anyways, yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so that's a nice bit of money in today's money, $82,000, but it's not necessarily that much money. It's not like you're like super rich. And my question would be, what was the price for the rent back then? You know, and what was it? You saw the tax? They said the tax for $6,000 was like $700. Imagine making $6,000 the whole year and you got to pay $700 in taxes. I mean, good grief. Good grief. So, you know, money, the expenses, things were cheaper in yesteryear, but it wasn't necessarily. When you adjust for inflation, you're still kind of in the same situation. That's why when they say raise minimum wage up, you're not really doing anything other than just making a lateral move. If the expense floor was right here, you've raised it to right here. If the floor for what things cost is right here, you've raised it to right here. Okay, so you didn't really do anything by having an artificial raise. You just made the value of your dollar less. And with that devalued dollar, you're still buying the same things ultimately. Doesn't make any sense. If you're making 6,000 and you devalue the dollar so much, that same dollar is now worth what 82,000 is. You're still buying the same things you would with that dollar. It just costs more ultimately because the value is lessened. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Lateral, not ladder, lateral, 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 side to side. Ladder, that's like you're moving up. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Okay, I got one more video. Speaking about cost, here's the true cost of immigrants around the world. The true cost. Okay, so somebody comes to your particular country. How much does it cost your country to take care of them? Or what do they actually bring? Are they going to be an expense or are they going to be a revenue generator for your particular country? Let's watch.
A North American immigrant that goes to another country will contribute in their lifetime $573,000 to the country. A Scandinavian immigrant will contribute over their lifetime $557,000. Immigrants from Oceania, $476,000. A Japanese, $525,000. Someone from the UK, $481,000. All those are net positives for society. Well, now let's look at the ones who cost society. Someone from the Middle East, it's a net loss for these immigrants at a cost of $624,000 over their lifetime. Caribbeans, $675,000. Central and North Africa, $700,000. Sub-Saharan Africans, $730,000. And it leads us to the worst offenders, the costliest immigrants to a society in the Netherlands. Somalians. Somalians cost $1.1 million over their lifetime. A North American...
Now look, let's talk about this. Those who are going to bring revenue, that's going to be your education level, okay? Right here, North American immigrant. That's going to be white, mostly I would suppose black, North Americans, people like us in the USA, Canada, Mexico, but mostly probably US. Okay, that'd be the net benefit to, what was that, like Scandinavia somewhere? Okay. Now they say Oceania, that means like Australia and like the islands, New Zealand, and then the Pacific Islands, Fiji, Tonga, etc. Oceania, 476. Now, once you get to the Caribbean and Sub-Saharan, you're dealing with a big drop in the education level, big drop. And also you're getting third worlders in there as well. Then once you go to the Somalis, not only do you got all the bad things you could have from an immigrant. You got the worst immigrant possible. Unfortunately, whatever, because they got a few things going on. First, zero education, inbreeding, which is going to lead to lower IQ, and they're going to be scamming. So combine all that, 1.1 million it would cost you to bring them. So where's benefit from having them? The only benefit in a place like Minnesota is the stealing helps the state's economy because you could just steal federal government money and pump that into local economy. That's all that they do. That's the only thing. If they got to come and work and actually be part of your society and not steal, they're going to just be a net loss for your society. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Let's get to some super chats and then some calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Super chats on deck first. Thank you to Apple, who says Minnesota liberals pose as famous photo of Marines opinion. Yeah, I saw that. I think I put it on my I put it on this page. Yeah, and for you guys who didn't see that, let me just throw it on the screen right quick. Okay, just 1 second. Let me put it up. Yeah, I most certainly did see that. And my thoughts on it, people just bored, want something to do. Because what is this anyway? Okay, so what they're doing, again, this is in Minnesota. They are recreating the Iwo Jima flag hoisting with the new Minnesota flag. Now, this flag looks oddly like the flag of Somalia. The prior flag looked like a regular state flag with the crest and all that kind of stuff on it. Now, you look like Somalia. And if you guys have not seen the Somalia flag, let me just put it on the screen for you guys, if you have not seen it, so you can see how similar they are. All right, here's the Somalia flag. See? Now, is that similar to what we just saw, or is it not? Okay, again, Somalia flag here, right? Just a blue field with a star, right? And then, boom, there goes the flag of Minnesota. It looks similar to me. And if it's not, then what was motivation behind making it look like that? That's crazy. But anyway, yeah, they're bored and just ridiculous over there. All right, thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, your dad was a Marine. My uncle was not in the Marines. I got uncles that Navy. I don't have no Marine uncles. But my dad was a Marine. So, yeah, I don't think he would like that too much. If he was, he probably in heaven right now, like, boy, I don't like that. Yeah, he would not be a big fan. Thank you to Papa Nia Shelley for becoming part of the ABL squad. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Gregor trying to say, I'm ready for the ABL show with the American flag, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Connect 200, who says Epstein fallout proves how low IQ people are. People associated with the Epstein files that didn't know what he was being caught in the fire. Exactly. People didn't know. You just associated with what's happening. You go to a party, somebody take a picture. Now you're in the Epstein files just for being at a party and nothing else. Thank you to Dolores, who says, hello, ABL. Shout out to you, Dolores. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says, that must be them Transformer guns. 12,000 rounds, exactly. 12,000, 1,200, 12,000 or whatever out of a gun automatically within 1 minute. A handgun. Make that make sense. Unless you got a Gatling gun in the video game, that ain't going to happen. But people they don't know anything about guns. So they think they're telling the right thing. They're saying the right thing, and they're not. All right. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says Bill Gates caught a virus. Allegedly, that was the story. He said it didn't happen, but hey, who knows? All righty. Let's keep going. Let's get to some calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the ticker at a certain point. It'll be right here. Also in the description box below. Again, 706-406-3287 is the number to call on in. Yeah, but shout out to the Minnesota liberals. I don't know what they're going to do after ain't no more Somalis, ain't no more scamming going on. I don't know what they're going to do with themselves. I have no idea. I'm going to read comments right quick until we get some calls, because sometimes y'all be kind of shy to call in. Does a flag have a 10-pointed star in Minnesota? I don't know. It appears to have a 10-pointed star right there, but I don't know how to close that tab, but it looks like it. From the video that I'm looking at the replay video on my screen, it appears to have a 10-pointed star on it. Let me see. Brooklyn RoboCop says, I served 6 years in the Marines. These fools are looking to get served at 3,500 FPS. Hey, I'm with it. Hoorah, simplify, all that good stuff, bro. Shout out to you. Sonny says there's a far greater conspiracy afoot with the Minnesota Somalis that goes far beyond the U.S. and has geopolitical importance involved in the UN Security Council. Well, the main thing that could be spoken about here is the Al-Shabaab, the terrorist group in Minnesota. I mean, I'm getting Somalia and Minnesota confused. But there's a terrorist group in Somalia called Al-Shabaab. And word on the street says that the money that comes from Minnesota goes to the terrorist group. I'll take it to the line 617.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Hey, so you were talking about the Somali scammers. So do you read the case? Do you read about the case, who got indicted, who started the scam? Do you read the case at all, or do you just...
Which case?
Well, this is the case for the feeding the children. That's the only case that the people are being charged. The others, I don't know.
Okay, no, I didn't read the case.
Okay, so this is where it gets when people are not thinking rational. Do you really believe the bunch of Somalis can pull off a scam that run in billions of dollars?
Yes, I do.
No other ethnic group is going to be involved. Only Somalis.
Well, I didn't say all that.
Do you really? No. I'm asking you. Do you really believe what the white kid was going with the camera and saying $3 billion, and then what is the other Dr. Oz saying that they put him? It's just stupid. You cannot be that stupid to believe that a Somalis group, a people with less education, can get access to federal funding at that level, and no other people of any other ethnic group, especially a white person, is involved.
Wait a minute, but who said? Wait though. So you're adding things to it. I never said that nobody else is involved.
I'm not saying you, but the way that you're promoting is like they doing it on their own.
Nah, excuse me. That's your opinion, and that's okay.
So that's not what you promote. You don't promote this.
That's your opinion. I never said that they do it by themselves. I never said that. That's your opinion.
Do you promote the video? Yes or no?
What video?
The video that the kid Nick was going around and saying blah 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 blah. Do you promote his video? Yes or no?
Now, see, no, no. You're asking me a loaded question because you think that he said that it's only the Somalis, because that's your point that you're trying to make. You're saying that he said it's only them doing it. I've not heard him say that, and I've not said it. That's your opinion.
He said that was the Somalis were
no. Because you're changing your words. You're being funny with your language, because you said that he was saying that it's only them. So did he say it's only them? Did he say that?
But why? Okay.
Okay. Now you answered the question. Excuse me, because your point you're trying to make is that he said it's only Somalis, and you're trying to say that since I promoted no. I'm almost done. You're saying that he's saying that it was only them, and then you're saying since I promoted the video that I'm saying that it's only them. But I've not heard him say that, and I've not said that. So did he say that? Yes or no?
ABL.
So excuse me. So the question is, did he say that? Yes or no?
He did say that. ABL. Okay, listen. You're dealing with a 53-year-old man. You're not dealing with a little kid.
I can't tell.
He went directly to the Somali. Excuse me. He went directly to the Somali community. If I go to the Jewish community and saying that the Jews are committing fraud, they committing fraud. What I'm referring to. If I go to the Irish community, I say they committing fraud. If I go to the black community, I say they committing fraud. What the hell I'm saying? Don't be stupid.
No. That's not how it works, though. You're not very. You're an old person, but you don't have a lot of good education.
No, I'm very. Dude, I'm way smarter than you. And
the thing about it is, I didn't say smart. I said educated is different. You could be a smart guy without education. That's why you're retarded, because you don't understand the difference between smart and educated. Educated means that you have information, that you understand what you're talking about, and you don't. Because you think if somebody says that Somalis engage in fraud, that it's only them by themselves. That's not necessarily how that works. You can have two things true at the same time. You can have Somalis engage in widespread fraud and it not just be them doing it.
Okay, so let's talk about the case. The case the Somalis, there were a few of them. This is true. Most of the people that committed the fraud with the largest amount of money that they pickpocketed in this fraud were white. They weren't Somalis. The
So wait, hold on. What case was that where it was just mostly white folks?
The case was the same feeding the children. It was a case that what they were doing is they were looking for.
No. The question was, what case was this? Is it a different case?
I just told you.
No. Is it a different case than feeding the children? Yes or no?
But there's only one case.
No. Is it a different case than feeding the children? Yes or no?
I don't know because that's the only case that people being charged.
So in feeding the children, who were the majority of those charged? Somalis or somebody else?
Okay, so there were Somalis involved. There were most white.
The question was, in the feeding the children case, who was the majority of those charged? Was it Somali? Yes or no?
Right now, more whites.
No, that's not true.
Right now,
you're not correct. You're not correct.
No, because there's 72 they're being indicted. Only because you be indicted doesn't mean that you're being charged with a crime. The 72, most of them are the Somalis that have been indicted. Some of them, they weren't found guilty. So I don't know until the case closed. I don't know what's going to happen.
Are there any others accused in the feeding the children case who were unindicted?
I just told you.
So you don't know? So you don't know? Is that the answer?
I just told you only because you're accused doesn't mean that you're guilty.
Okay. My question is: are there any others who have been accused but not officially charged in the feeding the children case?
Yes, they've been accused. There were Somalis being accused.
You're not see that's why you're retarded. You don't even understand what I'm saying. That's why you're retarded.
No, I'm not retarded. Only because you're accused doesn't mean that you're guilty.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. You don't understand. See, I said.
Yes, I just told you. The only thing you want to talk over me. I just told you. Yes, there were a lot of more Somalis. There are 172 more. They haven't been indicted. And actually, those the attorneys and the prosecutors quit. 6 prosecutors for the federal level quit. Because what Pam Bondi did, they wanted to charge people who protested in the street. That's another topic. But the bottom line is, I know it's all about the money. I know the kid, Charlie, I think his name is, he goes out there, and then there's many of them. They go out there, and they're like, yeah, these people, because Trump says so. Trump like, yeah, we don't want the Somali, the scam. Dude, the same scam, they've been pulled over by other group, by Irish.
Okay, but at the end of the day, you can't overtalk me. At the end of the day, watch this. I'm gonna just mute you right now. At the end of the day, we're talking about this case. We're talking about Minnesota, and in Minnesota, Minneapolis, to be specific, there's a specific problem with the Somalis. That's not saying that nobody else does fraud, because that's not the case. Everybody does fraud. That's the thing. I mentioned Sam Bankman-Fried and Bernie Madoff earlier in the show. So it's not just them doing it, but in Minnesota and Somalia, in Minneapolis, it's mostly them.
No, it's not mostly them.
Yes,
it's
it is.
Mostly them. There's other groups doing it. Because the lady, they said there was $3 billion, right? That's what I think Charlie, the kid, said. And then another guy like, yeah, I got the paperwork. So far, it's $250 million. And the executive director is a white woman. I don't want to give you any names. I don't want to go through all that. She's the one who pickpocketed most of the money. She's the one who was recruiting these people, and then she was reaching out to Somalis because there are few of them that own restaurants. And then what they were doing is they were overbilling the government. They said they were feeding so many children. That wasn't true. But they weren't making the big bucks. They were making probably $500,000. Maybe 1.2. She's the one who was pickpocketing the millions and millions of dollars. So it's not that what they are selling up there.
Okay, I got a question. I got a question.
And I know they need to sell.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, sir, excuse me. I have a question. Okay, in the feeding the children case, what is the percentage of those charged who were Somali?
I think it was like 40, almost less than half. There were less than half.
89%. 89%. I got a source on the screen right now, a local news source. Okay, ABC 3340, right here. It says 89%.
They've been indicted and charged because the case has not been closed. So probably that's wrong. They've been charged.
These are the ones that were accused. 89%.
Then look. All right,
charged,
man.
Charged. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this. It says I'm gonna put it on the screen. Okay. Now, 89% of those charged in the Feeding Our Future case are Somali Americans, according to reporting from the Associated Press. It's right on the screen, right in front of you, so I don't even got to really argue. It's right there in black and white. 89%. Not 40, 89%. So again, nobody said it was just the Somalis engaging in fraud, but it's mostly them, especially in Minneapolis. That's all I got, man. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Okay, let's keep on going here. All right, let's go to 859. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
All right. How's it going, ABL? I'm hot. I'm sorry. I'm like, I just got on the phone. I'm hotboxing, just living out there, working hard, always working, living life, man. What's up with you, man?
Everything good, man. What's going on?
Oh man, just work, just life as usual, working, listening to the show, just playing video games. And I was calling in the show, man. I don't know if you were talking about the Jelly Roll situation and the how they were bashing him and stuff like that on the award show. And I think that's kind of silly. If he doesn't want to talk about a certain subject, he should be allowed not to talk about it, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think more people should say that same thing because people get pressure into giving an opinion. And it's okay sometimes to just be quiet because, hey, even me, sometimes I don't know something, I'm going to just be quiet on it. I shouldn't be forced to speak on it if I don't want to.
I definitely 100% agree with you on that. And, of course, if I don't keep up with certain things, there's certain things I don't know, and it's just understandable, especially if he's only focused on his music and is only on his home career. He's going to be focused on his music. He's not going to be focused on what's the outside world going on. He probably is locked alone in his own little place, more worried about his music, how Stephen King is too busy writing his books in a snowy cabin in the middle of nowhere. But it's silly that they have to eject politics and everything, and it's insane.
Yeah, I'm with you. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, and they shame him for it, and they talk down to him, and they're like, "Oh, you talked about politics before." It's like, yeah, because he met up with a few people talking about his past drug habits. I don't know how they confuse past drug habits and meeting up with a politician between that and, having an opinion about something. I don't get their logic on it. It's silly because just because you associate with a conservative one time, talk about your drug habit on a podcast, doesn't make you affiliated with that person. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but it's always something that they try to do. They try to link you to some people to discredit. It's always that kind of angle going on, unfortunately.
Yeah, and listen, there's some agents of the whole ICE agents. There's some agents have been screwing up as well. I'm a bit of gray on that situation. There's some good agents, there's some bad agents, but I can tell you one thing. Recently in California, they have arrested 120 in less than a week. 120 ICE agents have arrested 120 sex traffickers and human traffickers from off of the street. So that is a good victory. Out of all the BS, of all the controversy with ICE agents, at least we're getting some stuff done, arresting violent criminals, bad people off the street. So I support that 100% of the way.
Right on, absolutely. I saw that same story, so that's definitely a good thing that's happening.
And there's some stories I've seen, like some of the ICE agents throwing tear gas into a cars. I think that was ridiculous, kind of dumb, not really smart. But there's some ICE agents, again, who've done good things. And recently, where I live at, there is a town local that has a bad habit of, well, I would say creepy people. I'm, not the best kind of people. And they're really protected by the state. As soon as I showed up in that state, politicians in that area in Winchester, all the politicians, all the prosecutors, and all the judges start freaking out, and so all suddenly are anti-ICE now. It seems kind of strange when they're going after criminals, they change their opinion quickly. These local guys.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Strange. What is it?
So yeah, it's really weird how that works.
Yeah, it's really weird because you know what? People talk about the federal, the reserve of the federal government and the federal, problems that we have right now in our government, and it's understandable. But the state level, oh boy, if they're freaking out and acting kind of shady when ICE is showing up, going after particularly human traffickers, there's a bit questionable behavior. And these are the same people who call me a dirtbag because I came out and said things before and spoke the truth and basically did the right thing if I saw something that did something. So at least there's some justice, even in my back door. So thank goodness. And thank you very much for taking my phone call. Much love to you, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, 420 guys on the chat. I'm going to go ahead and smoke one. I want to hotbox it. Much love to you guys.
All right, take care. All right, shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Right on. Right on. And shout out to the Somalis out there for scamming. Hey, man, that's their thing. Unfortunately, that's what they're known for. Shout out to the Somalis who don't scam and just like regular everyday people. Shout out to y'all out there. I know it sucks to be lumped into a community who do this at scale. So if you don't scam, you a Somali, shout out to you, man. Keep on rocking and rolling. Keep doing what you're doing. All right, but the number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. All right. I'm reading some of the comments here. Some say, ABL, we want more callers. It's a low volume, so there's nothing I can do about that. Everybody just kind of want to chill. But if you're watching this, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you've not done so already. I appreciate that. And this is also available on the audio-only podcast. That'll be available on your favorite Apple. I got a call, so I got to stop talking. Okay, let's go. 734, your line speaker 2. 734, hello.
Hi, it's Taisha from Michigan. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. My comment is regarding the first caller. I don't really get people like them where they can't confront the issue. They always just have to go back to white people. Like, we get white people commit fraud. They do everything. But, hey, let's talk about the fraud with the Somalians in Minnesota and, like, just stick solely on the fraud that they're doing. Why do we always have to jump back to white people? It seems like it eases their soul to just blame everything on them and just take no accountability for anyone else.
Exactly. That's the thing. And when that happens, there's never any kind of progression, never any kind of learning, never nothing. You just stay stuck in one spot, being comfortable pointing a finger at somebody else. It's an excuse for somebody to never really advance in their life. It's kind of sad, but at the same time, I don't feel sad because whatever somebody does that does not allow them to go forward is on them. That's not my responsibility.
Exactly. We all are put on this earth to, make sure we all take care of business. So just blaming other people is really just sad and disappointing. It gets old. It really does get old. So that was really just my comment tonight because every time he calls in, he just calls in to really argue and contradict himself.
He does.
Well, have a good night and hi chat. Bye.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right. Great call. But yeah, that whole blaming the white man thing, that's why I always say blame the white man like a joke because it is a joke. And if you are content with blaming the white man, you will be a joke and you will never go anywhere forward. I remember guys from back in the day would try to be on that type of stuff. And then I see them years later and then they're the exact same place. Like they got stuck in time and didn't advance.
You are
You're on loudspeaker to 615. 615, hello.
Hey, what's up, baby? My bad. It's a little lag on the screen. I called in not too long ago. I think it was like 2 shows back. But anyways, you touched on the Highlander Folk School. I wanted you to go a little bit deeper into that. I looked into Paul Crouch. I found some old newspaper clips and his testimony talking about how he is part of the Communist Training Center. But I called in a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you recall or not, but I have a friend who claims that he's a black radical. I kind of want to bring this up to him. I don't know if you got any input on it that I could kind of bring up as a point.
Okay, so what's your question?
As far as like the Highlander Folk School, why do you think they implemented these people to be involved in the Civil Rights Act as communists?
Well, I don't necessarily know why they picked Rosa Parks, or maybe she, you know, I don't know how she got to the Highlander Folk School, but I think MLK at the time was already somebody who was known. So they probably recruited him from being known out there, you know, speaking and traveling and stuff like that. Because I think MLK was active in the 50s and 60s. So then when they got him, I think it was like in the early 60s, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of his message was co-opted by people who saw him as a force that was rising. And that happens even to this day. People, if they see you rising and see you ascending, they try to get you early to try to have influence over you. They do that with foreign nations as well. We saw Eric Swalwell with the Chinese spy, Fang Fang, and that was when he was in college. So they identified him early. They knew, they saw his trajectory. They saw his path. So they got somebody on him early. Same thing, Barack Obama. Barack Obama has a history. There's a family connection. I think his mom's first cousin was H.W. Bush. Or it might have been his grandma or something like that. So they see you from a young age and they put people with you to guide you in a certain direction. And that's probably part of it. Okay, come to this school for a training so we're able to get you politically where we want you. When you go out there and speak, when you go out there and talk, you will just repeat what we told you.
Right. Even though you may have your own message in the background, you're still part of our bigger message. And then you get your younger crowd on or whatever, and before they know it, they are a communist.
That's right. That's how it goes.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate taking the call, man. I'll definitely bring these points up.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. See it.
All right, great call. So yeah, they get you early. They identify you. Okay, you're going to be somebody. You're going to be, you know, all right. Let's put a handler with you. Let's get a spy in there. Let's do this and do that. So you gotta be careful. And me being kind of a street person, I kind of would see little stuff that would happen, little people that'd be around. You know, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a story that I've not told before, but it ain't nothing really that big. So I'm at an event. Was it a turning point event? It might have been a turning point event. This might have been 2019, somewhere right around then, like right around that time. So there's some kind of beef going on between some people. I forgot exactly what it was. Somebody couldn't come to the event. Somebody got disinvited, something like that. Some drama going on. So people know me. They know who I am. I'm really recognizable. I'm a tall guy. Everybody see my face and know my voice. So people coming up to me asking me questions. And there was one guy who asked me a question. And the way he looked at me, I just didn't like it. I felt like police. Like you hot monkey. Like if you're supposed to be undercover, I'm gonna identify you right away. So stuff like that would happen. And I felt like if I answered the question the wrong way, he would go tell somebody and use it against me. And that kind of thing is not uncommon, but let's keep on going. Let's go. I'm going to speak to you on the line, 323.
Oh, good evening, ABL. How are you doing?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm good. I wanted to comment about the New Millennium movie.
Okay.
I went to go see it this weekend, and it was, by the way, it's an excellent movie, and I suggest that, you know, everyone go out and see it. You really enjoy it. So I was over here at the movie theater, and I had my MAGA hat. I live in Los Angeles, and I went to go see it at the Grove, which is like the mecca of Hollywood tourism. You know, everybody comes there to do whatever. And when I got out of the movie, I had my hat on. This guy was kind of like looking at me. Then he comes over, "You're a Trump supporter," and I'm like, I have to give the same energy back because I'm so sick and tired of seeing it on TV, people impeding in your spaces because you have a certain uniform on or you think a certain way. And I'm like, I just knew that somebody was going to attack me. I mean, because, this is LA, but it was like I said, this stuff has got to stop because, like I said, I probably wouldn't have said anything to him, but just let him slide with it. But since everything is going on with these protests or insurrections, whatever you want to call them, it just makes you want to just attack back, So anyway, that's all I got to say. And the scamming is off the charts. Nobody's talking about that. And by the way, I was wondering, did they ever do an investigation on Omar, whatever her name is, to see if she really got attacked with the pepper, well, not with pepper spray, with the apple cider juice by somebody that was a stranger, or whether she knew the guy or what? Is there any more news on that? Because I haven't seen it.
I've not seen any updates on that. I'm gonna go try to find some stuff to see if there's anything about that. But as far as I know, the story is kind of dead right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I'm like, well, how did it go away so quick? Yeah. So yeah. So that's all I have to say, basically. And I was just wanting to make sure that everybody, can hear what I had to say about the movie, because I really thought it was an excellent movie. Did you see it, by the way?
I've not seen that, but I got to go check it out ASAP.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great. So anyway, that's all. And have a good evening. And thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Great caller. Brave woman for going out there in Los Angeles with a MAGA hat. Brave woman. Hey, I'm not even that brave. If I do that, if I go out there with a MAGA hat on in Los Angeles, man, I'm gonna have a firearm in my hand like this. Like, I'll be in the movie theater like this. Hey, try it if you want to. I'm playing. But yeah, that is most certainly a brave thing to do out there in a place like Los Angeles. People are crazy. They're totally nuts, and they would just do random stuff to you just for no reason. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, like a girly movie. It's kind of what it seems like. How long is a movie? What's the runtime on that? Let me see. Hour and 48. It's not too bad. Yeah, that ain't too bad. If it's gonna be like, several hours, like a 3 hour, I ain't gonna do that. But an hour and a half and some change, that's cool. I'm not really mad about that. All right. Dr. Goat says, I used to wear a MAGA hat in LA all the time. Nobody said anything negative ever. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. You could wear your MAGA hat in Los Angeles and it's straight. Maybe they ain't gonna say nothing, but they might be, kind of under their breath. I don't know. LA, man. If you guys live in Los Angeles, then you better than me. Maybe I'm a little bit too Southern, I suppose. I don't know, but LA is not my cup of tea. New York, LA, I don't like. But it's not for everybody, I suppose. Just like living kind of where I live, Appalachia, little 2-lane highways, it might not be for everybody. You might need to hustle and bustle, because a New Yorker might come here and say, "Oh, I'm bored." Now, how did New Yorker say, "Yo, son, it's slow, son. I don't got nothing to do, son. I'm mad, bored, son." It's like, all right, Rakim, go back to Harlem, go back to the Bronx and enjoy life there. You know what I mean? Because down here it's a little bit slower, the tink's bit slower. But like I said, everything not for everybody, and it's okay. It's okay to have some things for some of us, but not all. All right. That'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you heard so far, if you like the content in general, if you like what you heard tonight, you know what to do. Get a video a thumbs up. This podcast is also available on the audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Again, that is Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or go to your favorite audio streaming platform, search it. I'll pop right on up. And what else I got? That's pretty much it. Oh, you guys follow me on all my platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are on the description page of my website. And y'all know about YouTube. YouTube is weird. They like to serve stuff whenever they want to serve it. So some things I'm not going to post here on YouTube. I got to post it on the other platforms because YouTube is weird with the way they handle it. If you want to see more of my content, please go to the other platforms. If you're on YouTube and that's it, that's fine. Oh, and the Instagram stream will be up. I think I'm going to put my IG streams up on Friday. I know I do Instagram streams on Tuesday night. I'll put it up as a full one Friday night. But it'll also be on audio streaming at the same time. All right. Did I get everybody? Yeah, super chats I'm going to get to. But before I do that, thank you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. Y'all know I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping them trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. All right, we have Bandit who says stocks weren't designed to prop up the economy. They were for a small business to gather investment, not rich ones to become trillion-dollar monstrosities. Oh, there we go. They get a Twisted Clown who says, yeah, I'll take number 3, no cheese, please, no queso. They get to Twisted Clown who says, tell them to start a YouTube channel. I'm not quite sure who you're referring to, but shout out to you. Twisted Clown also says, that man is made for subtitles. Okay, we're talking about, let me explain something. Let me explain you something. I'm talking about him. But now, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back live on Saturday, but I'm here every day with pre-recorded content. Every day, 7 days a week, pre-recorded content. If this is the first time watching, go ahead and subscribe. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.